Sports Encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What a you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
Yeah, we're in the building. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday, so talk, I will talk back. We are live in the building, so tap in, and appreciate all you guys, man, joining us. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. Steve Kim joins us, Dr. Jesse Morse, and, of course, Bama legend T-Rich will join us as this is the realest show on Planet ERF. So pound that like, become a member if you're not one, and obviously go across to the other channel that we're live on right now and subscribe. We're about 90 subscriptions short of being able to do this thing live and drop some videos on there. So make sure you guys over there subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscriptions. So go over there to the other channel and subscribe as well. So, yeah, Bailey, I'm all screwed up because Ash hit my shit and fucked up the camera. So let me straighten this thing out. Bam. Is that better? Fucking Ash. Go lay down. Anyway, we got a lot going on today, man. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. T's and P's to all the California homies going through it. And, man, I want to just drop something real quick, not to keep beating a dead horse, but I got to dive into something real quick because all the out-of-staters that are not from California who continue to tell me to leave. Listen, if I want to leave Cali, I'll leave. There's not going to be no discussion. You're not going to get a Twitter post about me leaving and it's a sad day and oh my God. No, I'll just leave and I'll say peace. It's really that simple. But listen, I want to be clear to all you out-of-state folks that talk shit about California. I did a little deep dive and did some research. I already knew this because I mentioned it yesterday on the show, but I want to address all the idiots out there that are, sisters and are their same person as their mother, and you're actually born from your sister, and you don't understand how real society works because you're in the backwoods of fuck nowhere. Let me break all this down to you guys real quick. All you cyborgs that complain about the amount of aid money that is coming to California. Okay, let me just be clear. Biden gave us $700. Woo! We got $700. North Carolina got $750. Woo! Hawaii got $600. Ukraine got $500 million again the other day. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But let me be clear. California paid $600 billion more to the government than the number 2 state pays. which is Texas. California paid $600 billion more dollars to the government than number 2 did, which is Texas, in 2024. How about we just stop paying the government here in California and keep all the money for ourselves and not get aid? Because we'll compare that in the Federal Reserve by state in the U.S. This is facts, okay? Go pull it up. The total revenue each year, California paid $1.4 trillion from IRS, tax, business income tax, and individual income and employment tax. $1.4 trillion left this state to go fund all your shithole states. So if we decided to keep our tax money and not pay you shitbirds anything, we would be just fine. The other states besides Texas and maybe New York would fall off the face of the fucking earth, contrary to all your beliefs. So again, the 4th largest economy in the world is on fire right now. And all you outsiders can do is talk shit. Leave, it's a shithole. It's a shithole because y'all can't live here. You can't afford it, and you're just not cold enough. I can, that's where I'm from. I'll continue to do so until I decide not to. So other than that, I wanted to make sure you have a fun fact to start your day for all of you shithole states out there who need California to survive. Shut the fuck up and go do some research. We pay you to live on this soil. You fucking idiots. Fact, as Smitty would say. Speaking of Smitty, this is the realest show on planet Earth. Go check out my main man on all things, all platforms, as we dive into it. My lovely co-host, self-esteemed Far East Sider, Naptown legend, 317, LeBron hairline having, LeBron Jackson, or Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, and AR Anderson and Caleb Clark jocking, Fox Sports' very own Biggs. Welcome, my man.
My man got so hyped, he said LeBron Jackson.
I know.
We hear live, though. You said,
Guaranteed.
well?
There's a LeBron Jackson. Black,
oh, definitely about somewhere.
It's guaranteed BPS LeBron Jackson living out there.
Mississippi, somewhere like.
Google LeBron Jackson. I guarantee there's probably a lot of
right now.
There's probably a lot of LeBron Jacksons. I guarantee you there's LeBron Jackson.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he's a wide receiver in Bakersfield, California. 6'2",
God damn.
homie.
Fuck. Is he illegal?
Homie, dog. He's a dog.
Is he an illegal?
No, he's a black man, Bakersfield, California.
Oh, because Bakersfield is like the stomping ground for getting rid of illegals right now. I don't know if you knew that.
He's a black man, homie. 6'2", 180. Next league receiver. But anyway, we in the chat right now, man. Who we got today? We got my OG Vincent. I love Vincent. He's a real OG. We got Mike Vaca. We got Fly Ride 805. We got Roberto Del Villar. We got Christian Dub. We got High Functioning Golf Addicts. We got Joker Brad, TPB, J Ram, M Adam, Imps, and Gene and Big Rube. We about to go crazy right now, man. We had an amazing game last night. I don't even know. We're gonna down to that here in a minute because I don't want to mess the whole rundown up. But I don't know if JB's like happy as hell because his LA Rams got the win and they're moving on and they, it kind of did like a little tribute to the city. It was like a good feel. Or is he sad because the quarterback on the other team, Sam Darnold, went back to
Anyway, let's dive into the rundown. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. Dion to Dallas means the Cowboys would have to trade Dak and draft Shador, Smitty. Could this happen? Sure, it could. Will it? Not likely, based on a Cowboys roster and owner who are both iffy, to say the least. Are you willing to take a coach who hasn't won anything of significance in a Deion Sanders and a quarterback who just isn't NFL caliber, in JB's opinion, not Smitty? I'd say no. But I've seen crazier shit happen with Jerry Jones. But what do I know, Smitty? That's the thumbnail. I want to just ask you right out the gate and discuss that before we get into the shit you were trying to.
It's the thumbnail. Let's talk about it.
The shit you were trying to allude to before we get started. Let's start with this first.
I actually like how we just did this. I'm gonna talk to you about it later. I like how this just happened right now.
I don't talk to you after the show.
I'm talk to you right now. I like how I just gave a tease to a later bigger topic, and then you wheeled it back in to the first topic, and now the viewer got to stay around and hear this and that. Let's take a mental note to what just happened right there. We got to keep learning on the fly. That was dope. But to this topic, Coach Prime leaving Colorado. Let me tell you right now.
I don't like it at all.
This is all media. This is not real. When I say it's not real, did he meet with Jerry Jones? Yes. Did he have a conversation with him? Yes. But that does not mean that Coach Prime is seriously about to leave. Coach Prime is negotiating. To my knowledge, unless Matt or Betty can correct me, I don't think Deion has actually signed the dotted line yet on the new contract that Colorado has sent on his table. I don't believe so. So what I truly believe, my heart of hearts, knowing how Deion moves and operates and how he shakes, I think he's putting his name in the mix when it comes to the Cowboy, when it came to the Raiders earlier. He's just trying to almost scare Colorado in order to get as much money as humanly possible from them before he goes ahead and signs. Of course, he's gonna take the interview as a Dallas Cowboys. Of course, he played for him. He's won with him. Him and Jerry Jones are tight. He's going to respect that opportunity because it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. But Deion wants to stay at Colorado. He's comfortable. He doesn't want to deal with NFL players. We understand that NIL has made college very similar to NFL, but it's still not NFL.
Hold on. Have you spoke to him?
Nah, this is all me. This is all.
You got to stop saying he wants to stay at Colorado. You don't know. You never talked to him.
I believe he wants to stay at Colorado. That's my fault. You're right. You're right.
Fact-based show.
I believe, my opinion, not a fact. I believe he wants to stay at Colorado. That's my fault, Jason. I will never do that again. Smitty's opinion is that he wants to stay. Smitty's opinion is that Deion is using this as a leverage tool. Smitty's opinion.
Hold on. No. I can't let JV do that to you, Smitty, because it's actually fact that he said that. I've had Deion's son, Deion Sanders Jr., on my show with Matt, and he literally said verbatim that Deion Sanders Jr. asked Prime, because he knew his life in Colorado or go wherever he needs to go. And he asked him that, and he's like, he wants to stay in Boulder. Maybe you can not believe it, but because it's coming from his son. He wants to be in Boulder.
I'm done talking right now.
You young people kill me. Young people, too. That means y'all kill me.
Are you one, homie?
You motherfuckers really believe his son and all these other motherfuckers that talk about they're not leaving. Everyone that says they're not leaving literally leaves. Stop it, youngsters. Stop. Prime sexual beings. Stop. We're all sexual beings, but we're not all prime sexual beings. You're prime sexual beings. Just stop. He is a 3-9 at best coach next year without Shador and Hunter and these guys.
Oh, is that a fact or is that an opinion?
Let me talk. Let me put your hand down, Darnell.
Is that an opinion or a fact?
This is a fact. And then, listen. And then, homie, hold up. Can you please give me a reason why Deion would turn down an opportunity to go to the NFL when he's been a guy, to be fair, who's made a name for himself with ticket sales and branding, but winning games, he's not done that. Not any meaningful games. So if he is, why would you risk a shot at staying at Colorado and proving all the naysayers wrong to say I can still win without my kid and without blah, blah, blah. And if you fail, Smitty, your coaching career is probably on the downhill slide from there as far as getting an opportunity like this ever again. He may just have to stay in Colorado until they figure out if he's the guy or not for years to come. It's not going to happen. He has to jump at the first thing smoking. If the Cowboys truly want him, he needs to go. That's just my gut feeling. And I think he should. That's just my gut feeling. And I've been saying it for a year now. I think he leaves. That's just my opinion. Now, the fact of it is because he's lost 3 bowl games. Those are meaningful games, right? If you're a coach, those are meaningful games.
Yeah, no, big games, for sure.
You've lost all 3. You've never beat a top 10 team, an opponent. You haven't won anything meaningful. So go now if they want you, dog. Why would you stay? And then what if you don't do well next year? Now, listen, I'll give credit to Deion Sanders. If he does stay and says, fuck it, fuck what the haters say, the naysayers, all the people that want to tell me I can't do it and I want to do it. That's me. I'll stay and do it. I'll give him all the credit in the world. No fucking doubt about it. But also on the other side of knowing this profession, I tell him to go. If I would say go, dog, take that opportunity, go to the Cowboys. I just think it's a match made in heaven. It's Deion Sanders, to me, top 2 or 3 player ever, and the Cowboys, I think the most expensive franchise in all of sports.
Probably the most popular too, yeah.
Those 2 things, boom, go together.
The media would love it. We would love it.
What's in Colorado to keep him there? Like, let's be funky, man. Keep it real. Colorado, cold weather, white girls,
full power, full autonomy that he will not get in Dallas. That's the only thing. Seriously, the only thing I can think of is like just full autonomy, and then like again, I guess still, what I said yesterday, having the ability to still mold and kind of grow kids into I really do think Deion, the type of guy who cares about that. I saw a piece with Jimmy Horn, I think on their little Amazon Prime show, and what he's going through with his dad, and that's just one example, but. I truly do. I say what you want about Deion. I think he does have a passion and a love for like connecting with these young people and helping them just mature even off the field. I think that's a real thing. So I think that's the motivation.
Let me ask you something. Ball State gave me full autonomy tomorrow to be the head coach, and I go take the job.
Yep.
And we're fucking god awful because we're in Muncie, Indiana. There's no kids trying to go there. I can't pay nobody. I'm just miserable there, but I got full autonomy though.
But hold on, you just said miserable. He's not miserable in Colorado. Like he got a nice little setup now, beautiful home.
But what I'm saying is, how long does autonomy outweigh the fact that you're not building nothing new? You're not creating nothing new. It's all mercenaries over and over and over. You're not getting over the hump. You're not being a top 10 team. You're not winning a bowl game. You're not going to win a natty. So when does the autonomy get outweighed?
By 2 years, homie.
I get it. I'm just telling you his history so far as a head coach, period.
I hear you, but I mean, the motherfucker wasn't win a natty in 2 years in the rebuild program. That's not realistic.
You have a resume? I have a resume. Deion has a resume. We all have a resume.
Yeah.
What's on the resume is how we are judged right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't win.
Right.
I'm saying
he hasn't.
On his resume right now, from what I'm looking at, he should jump and go take a job if he were to offer it. Now, we talked privately. I think it's fluff a little bit. I don't think he was offered the job. I think that Deion and Jerry are so tight that Jerry said, use my offer, quote unquote offer, and then go out and spin it on social media. And then Deion came out and said, hey, after great discussions, but I love it here in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? That is a friend helping a friend, in my opinion. And that's just how I think it works towards the Colorado re-signing if he were to stay. But there's some other jobs out there, Smitty, that I'm just going to say that it's not just Dallas, in my opinion, that fits Deion right now in this age and era. So if you got Mike McDaniels roaming the sideline and some other of these guys, at least that's a man's man.
Come on now. Listen, I'm with you. I think Deion will be successful in the NFL. I mean, and to your earlier point, if the Cowboys opportunity is real, if I was like some advisor, which I'm just Smitty, but I would damn near tell him, I agree. I would say, yeah, take that. That's a big opportunity that you can't, doesn't walk on trees. But I don't know, man. Deion, you're right. In the history, there's a lot of coaches who say they're going to do one thing and they do the next. Deion just seems like a straight shooter. I'm not saying he would just go out and just say, "Yeah, I'm just leaving." Like, no, I'm not saying he would be so blunt. Of course, you never do that within negotiations. But he's been pretty like strong in just saying that he loves Boulder. He wants he's been too strong on one side. You know what I'm saying? Like he's made too many comments to where it's like, if he did back out now, like it would actually to me look bad just because he's been so like adamant on staying. You know, if he had been on the fence this whole offseason and saying, well, I got to talk to the family and yada yada yada, okay, then to me it wouldn't be that bad. But he's basically said it. I want to stay here like multiple times. I don't know. I just don't see him leaving.
Y'all do. What are you gonna say? I don't want to be here and still recruit. Come on, man.
I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't say I don't want to be here and still land recruits, homie.
Yeah, but
like,
but there's a way to like walk the fence. There's a way to like not be so like he's straight. I love Boulder. I'm staying here.
I hear you.
Know what I'm saying?
But everybody said that. Smitty fucking
and everybody, homie.
What's his name? Just said it in UNLV. Barry Odom, motherfucker, left a week later to Purdue.
Deion,
come on, man.
He's not Barry Odom. He's a real one.
Come on now he's not a real one. Come on, man. Miss killed me with that shit.
Jackson? Just bet me $25.
I mean, you prime sexuals gotta stop whatever they call that shit.
I tell you that's disrespect.
Stop glazing. Stop glazing.
I don't know who you talking to. Don't ever put me in that category, homie.
You stop glazing, homie.
And so when I see you and I grab you like this and push you against your yacht, then what you gonna say?
I'll take you to the yacht. I bet you money. I go to the yacht right now. You'd be scared as a motherfucking whore in church. You'd be scared as a hoe in church on the yacht right now in this cold weather. Hey, we got a guest though. Speaking of whore in church, huh?
We got a guest. Who?
We got a guest, homie. That's what I got it. I got the show. I got it. You just sit back. One of our favorites. This is coming off a beatdown of the Minnesota Vikings last night that Smitty and I are going to dive into because Smitty thinks he's going to, get me caught up. But all things injuries. We're going to talk about all things injuries, NFL playoffs going forward as we enter round 2 of the worst NFL playoff rounds I've ever seen in my life. Our main man, Dr. Jesse Morse, joins us. Doc, what up?
What up, Doc?
Good morning.
Got the aqua blue on. You be clean, boy. I need to hit you up about who your tailor is in Miami so I can get plugged in. But let's get straight to it, man. We got the wild card weekend. There was some injuries for sure this weekend, man, with multiple teams. We saw it last night. I think didn't Tyler Higbee went down, if I'm not mistaken, for the Rams. The Packers had a whole bunch of guys who went down. Let's start with the Packers first and kind of work our way back up to this game from last night. Who got hurt with the Packers? What happened? I know their season is over now, but I still would like to just know what's the seriousness of some of those players who got hurt.
Jaden Reed suffered a shoulder dislocation. Usually those go to surgery. It sounds like he's potentially trying to avoid it. Give him a couple weeks, he'll reconsider. Romeo Dobbs with the Guardian cap on suffered another concussion. And I saw Josh Jacobs was favoring his right ankle, knee. Hard to tell. He played through it, but and then I think Quay Walker got injured. They had a lot of guys. There was a lot of guys in the defensive ball. And then they didn't look good. It was a very mediocre game. Overall, I mean, Philly didn't look amazing, but they got the job done.
Yeah, they got the job done, man. And you bring up Philly. Did Philly stay relatively healthy? I'm trying to look at some of the teams.
Big loss.
Who got hurt with Philly?
Jacoby Dean.
How serious is it?
He done.
Right? I didn't know that.
Patellar tendon.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Not for the injury. Not to clap for the injury. I'm not clapping for the injury, but it's gonna help the Rams.
I mean, it's great what you just did.
What's the problem with this injury? This rarely gets back to 100%, in my opinion. And if he does, it's probably going to be 2-3 years down the road. He'll probably start on PUP. If he makes it back in 25, he's not going to be the same player because the explosiveness is really restricted after this. When you rehab an ACL, you can fire your quad pretty much immediately. when you rehab a patellar tendon, you can't fire it for a while. Essentially what they do is they suture this across to give you an idea. This and this play tug of war, but this is naturally stronger. So what happens is now it's even stronger than stronger because this one has to heal. So you're not even allowed to put weight on your leg for like 6 weeks. Like it's a while.
Is there any technology? And this is just, excuse my ignorance. Is there something?
It's better actually. Back in
quad to trigger the quad while you're trying to, you know what I'm saying?
So back in early 2010s, like 2000s, 2010s, the data was awful. I mean, just most guys never returned.
Yeah.
We saw guys return. Brandon Graham, who also happened to have an ACL at the time as well. There was several guys. Gerard Mayo had it. A bunch of guys had it. But most of them, if they came back, they just weren't as good. There was 4, to my knowledge, this year that come off the top of my head. 3 of them were on the Bengals, which is just kind of weird. Chris Evans, their running back, I think his name is Darius Smith, or is an offensive lineman. And then Trent Brown actually also suffered one earlier this year. There might have been more. Some of the times these go by the wayside it's usually an offensive lineman injury. It's the position or skilled players that really struggle because of their explosiveness, and they can't put their foot down and explode because that tendon needs to be able to handle while you fire that quad. You fire those hips, you fire that quad, but if that patellar tendon can't handle that stress, it tears. And unfortunately, that's what happened. That not only is he obviously out, and they looked great. The Rams looked incredible last night. The Sam Darnold, I almost called him Josh Darnold. He was seeing ghosts. He did not look good at all. I mean, the line was suspect, but he has to be better.
Was he hurt?
Running like 20, 30-yard routes. I mean, the dude has 3 seconds. Like, he can't be running 30-yard routes. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, and they're going to bracket, they're going to bracket Jefferson. They should have used Hawkinson a lot more. They should have used some underneath routes. The game plan was not appropriate, and the Rams feasted.
Speaking of the Rams, man, let's bring up Higbee. I brought him up earlier. What happened with him?
So Higbee suffered a rib injury. Well, they call it chest, but it's almost always a rib.
His first catch, huh? People don't want to talk about it because he caught his first ball of the game. He caught it like about a 25-yard. And I knew it. I said, he's hurt, man.
So I don't know when it happened. All I know is that he was incredible whenever he was in the game, early onset, like incredible. Remember, here's the disappointing thing.
What?
Today is a year from his ACL. Today. So, he came back in week 16, I think it was. I tweeted it. I was like, oh, he looks great. He's a year out. I tweeted it out. And then like 10 minutes later, I was like, he just suffered a rib injury. They're calling him doubtful. But in the beginning of the game, doubtful for a rib injury usually means that he had either a rib fracture and or an organ injury. That's usually what that means, because doubtful, unless they rule you out immediately, is really rare for a rib injury. Usually they'll numb you up and then let you go back in. If they're concerned that there's some instability hemodynamically, you can lacerate liver, kidney, spleen, lung, depending on where it is and how beat up it is. He did go to the hospital, reportedly at the end we saw it at the end of the game, and he was stable, which likely means he didn't suffer anything significant and in terms of like life-threatening, but I would be really surprised if he's able to play this week. Like really surprised.
One of my players, a similar catch to that catch that I saw. That's why I noticed it. A kid in college caught a ball like that, landed, boom, played about 2 more quarters, and had a ruptured spleen and was bleeding inside. Had to be rushed helicopter because the cat was throwing up, and then we didn't know what was happening at halftime. And it became almost life-threatening. And, I saw it last night, and I'm like, damn, I know he landed on that ball. That ball literally, when you hits the ground and your spleen or liver or whatever, that ball's full of air, it can do more damage than people realize. And I've seen it quite a few times. A rare injury, but I've seen it actually.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple every year that injured an organ. Musgrave had it last year. There was a couple of guys that's had it this year that are escaping me. Lamar may have injured his ribs as well. This one probably sounds a little milder. not overly concerning. Jalen looked fine. Well, did okay. The whole story with AJ Brown reading a book was quite fascinating. Kenny Pickett is just a backup at this point. Jaden Daniels went into the game with a quad, looked incredible. Hats off to him. That was the first rookie to win on the road since Russell Wilson in 2013. Rare territory. Shout out to Bo Nix. He announced yesterday that he suffered 3 transverse process fractures in his spine in week 12. Never missed a snap.
Explain that real quick. What is that? What type of pain was he going through?
Mouth.
Yeah, bring the spine now. That's what I like. That's why I like Dr. Morse. He's not going to just.
So this is actually a relatively, I would say, common, but not rare injury. It seems to happen with quarterbacks. I don't really know why. It's probably just the position and the way that they have to stand up. But see these right here?
Yep.
On each side, you break one of these.
Ooh.
He broke 3. We don't know if it's probably not cervical. Cervical is really rare. It could be thoracic or it could be lumbar, which is just obviously lower. The problem is they basically break off and then they're kind of just floating or chilling. So Derek Carr had this a couple of years ago. Matthew Stafford had this maybe a decade ago or something. They're painful, but to the point where you can play with them and it's safe to play with them. That's why he was able to play with them. Just impressive nonetheless. And you know, he tried, but that wasn't even a competitive game.
They're painful, Doc. They're painful as shit, especially when you try to, pronate and fucking do different things.
He had a great game. He had a great, season. So the fact that he did it with an injury, impressive.
Get that shot.
Yeah.
Ray Davis.
Peyton Manning, we've seen guys with the neck issue, so I'm scared. Hopefully. Yeah.
A couple more guys. Ray Davis with a concussion. I believe it was confirmed. Pacheco should be back with his rib injury. I mean, they were just being smart with him. Puka re-injured his knee last night. He was blocking.
Yeah.
He was blocking, and a guy came. That's right. A guy came and actually hit his inside of his knee. It was kind of like straight on and to the side. So it could have been a PCL re-injury, which is the same one he's been dealing with. It could be a mild LCL. He was struggling right after the half, and then he went into the half. They probably tightened it up. And then he did a little bit after the half, but then they just didn't do anything, really, the whole rest of the game. They didn't really need to. But so, I have some concerns how effective he's going to be, or if he's 100% go on tomorrow, or I guess it would probably be Thursday, then I'm not worried. But if he's like, because we saw Cooper Kupp had 1 target the entire game. 1 target. This is after Higbee went down too.
And right? You know what?
After Puka got injured, right? I mean, so it's like,
you know what happened? You know, it's crazy too. He didn't go read a book and bitch and cry and moan. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah. I unfortunately, I think Father Time is catching up, and I just don't think he can get that separation that he used to be able to get, and he's not.
He just wants to win, Doc.
But Puka,
he probably do. Yeah, he's 36.
Puka is a better slot guy at this stage of his career. So there's like, hey, Cooper, in my opinion, Cooper could be doing what Puka's doing, but I think Puka can be better at it right now.
Exactly.
Given his age and his athleticism. That's likely why Kupp is doing what he's doing, and Puka's doing what he's doing. The question is, now they might have to flip it because if Higbee's out, they have to figure out what to do. Is Parkinson going to be involved? Is Higbee going to be able to play? Is Cooper Kupp going to have to be worked in a little bit more?
Tutu Atwell.
Yeah. You got some Robinson, maybe you got Whittington, who I like. He's kind of a sneaky player. So we'll have to see how that plays out later in the week. In terms of Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
So Zay Flowers is probably the biggest name guy that is legitimately injured. This, in my opinion, is a posterolateral corner / LCL. When you look at the video, the guy came across and hit him like this, and it caused this whole area. So this is similar to Rashee Rice, but not quite as severe, probably. My concern here, so think about the type of player he is. He's very shifty. He's going to cut and zig and zag and juke between all the players. that is what you need that ligament for. Like, that's what it's for. So my concern is he won't be ready, and they might try to push him, and I have reservations about that. So it'll be interesting to see. They're probably working around the clock to try to get him as healthy as they can. They're playing the Bills this week.
They got the Bills, Doc. They got the Bills.
So I know that the stress is there. So I get it. In my opinion, he is not ready. He is not ready. I can't control the timing of the injuries. All I say is, in my opinion, he is not ready. If he goes out, he is at very high risk for not only re-injury, but there is a possibility where the ACL becomes involved, just based on instability, in my opinion. So it's unfortunate. You can't control the timing of things. If it was another week or two after, I think he'd probably be okay. Let's see how he does this week, and we'll go from there.
Let me ask you this real quick then.
Yeah.
So if the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl, which I predict, will he be ready for the Super Bowl? At that point?
Oh yeah. I mean, I give him like 2 more weeks. If I had a choice, like 2 weeks would be all right. But like this week, that's freaking close, right? And there's just not a lot of time. And that's the problem with these back-to-back games, is that you just don't, we haven't seen Mahomes throw a pass since Christmas.
It's been a long time.
It's the 14th.
Yeah.
But he had the luxury of missing that week, then getting the bye week. So, like, unfortunately, the Ravens didn't have that luxury. So now, they didn't have him last week. They didn't need him.
They didn't need him. They got Lamar.
But they probably need him now. Andrews didn't do a whole lot. I thought he would.
They need him.
King Henry just eating people for lunch. I mean,
yeah.
It'll be a good fight. I don't know which way this is going to go. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it. I think this will be a great matchup because last night's wasn't really a good game. Like, it just, it was exciting. It had moments, but
we had one game that was decent. Washington.
Yeah, the Washington game, and then the other one was like, eh, and I was like, eh. So I'm like, bro, like, you all the fluff games all year, and then you get to this, and it's like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Doc, I know we mentioned the Texans traveling to KC. KC, again, looks primed to go back to a third Super Bowl in a row. It comes through Arrowhead. Joe Mixon's clear. He's good to go, right?
As far as I know, I haven't seen anything. Mechie was banged up with a shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal. I think they probably get him more involved. Schultz will be involved. Mixon will be involved. Obviously, Nico Collins. They surprised me. I didn't think they were going to win this game. I thought they were going to lose it. So, I was disappointed and surprised that Dobbins wasn't used as much as he was supposed to. Vlad McConkey is an absolute monster. Patriots pick is killing me. Oh, that one is going to eat me for years. But in general, that was that on Harbaugh? Was that just on D'Amico? I don't know. Stroud stepped up when he needed to. I don't know. All I know is that they got the W, and that's all that matters. Last thing before I go, I love your thoughts on. I've been busy with Vrabel. You like the signing?
Yeah. I do. I know you're a Patriot guy, Doc. I know you're a Patriot. Yeah, I do. That's the best hire out there, in my opinion. Now,
he knows the culture, right?
Yeah,
he's here forever.
Leader of men, smart.
Yeah.
I need to know what they do in the offense, and I need to know what.
Yeah. Well, they got to attract. Can you attract again? Is my thing, because you've never been a great attraction. Foxborough's never been an attraction to big time free agents. Now, can Vrabel go get a couple 1s and 2s for Drake May? If Drake May's the guy, like everyone saw some premonition here this past year. He had some great games. And he grew in front of our eyes with no talent around him, it seems. Can they go get a 1 and a 2? They got a decent tight end. They got a decent run game. They got a few good pieces interior up front. I think they go get a big-time tackle. But other than that, they're okay. They just need some weapons on the outside, just like the Chargers do, just like some other teams out there. They all need some weapons to get around.
I would love to see T. Higgins end up in a Patriots uniform. The question is, are the Bengals going to move mountains financially to pull off the trifecta?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know.
I know he's going to want to go there, but is he going to want to take a $20 to $50 million pay cut to stay there?
At this point, this guy's got to start questioning their moves, because they've seen some moves where these other guys have waited around for the bag and left big-time arm talent to go get a bag, and now they're looking at it like, oh, shit, they're horrible now. They're not going to get a second bag. If I'm T. Higgins, if it's a little bit less, I'm staying with the arm talent.
I mean, I think Burrow proved that wrist injury was nothing.
No doubt.
Yeah, shout out to him. We didn't know. That was the first time it ever happened that there was no NFL quarterback that ever suffered that injury that we know of. So he's what we call an N of 1. There's no other data. So
hey, Doc, before you get out of here, there's a hit. Well, there's an angle that we can't see fully, but I know this is Jaden Daniels took a shot on his knee. And out here in Cali, my good friend coached him in high school at Cajon, and a good friend of mine is the head coach there. And they called him Plastic Man because his knee would take so many different contortions and never missed really significantly and his knee's been, we've seen this year alone, knee being bent back.
Oh, yeah.
He took a hit the other night on
he did.
A posterior knee shot that he threw a touchdown on, and I saw it, and he was kind of holding it, and I was like, oh, shit. Any issues? Have you heard anything about his knee at all, or are they just keeping it on the wrap? He's good to go.
So he's very flexible, it looks like. He's one of those guys that just kind of, I think he rolls with it, and I think his body heals better. So in my opinion, one of the reasons why pros become pros is because they have the ability to heal better than the rest of us. And even if it's 5 or 10%, you add talent to that, and that becomes an elite player that rarely misses the field. Or just even when he does miss the field, it's very limited compared to someone else that would miss a month. With that being said,
there's scabbers and there's bleeders, brother. There's scabbers and there's bleeders. So
all I know is that his injury history is very, very light, despite how crazy he plays and how long his journey has been already. He's got maybe he's really preventative. Maybe he's just gifted with the luxury of being able to avoid injuries, kind of like David Price in baseball, who just had like this magical elbow that kind of healed itself, and you're like, what the hell? Maybe that's kind of, so maybe he has a little Ayers Danlos where he's a little bit more flexible and has a little bit more play than other people, and that allows him to get lucky. Most people that and as I say all the time, the greatest predictor of future injury is past injury. So if he hasn't had a whole lot of trauma and scar tissue to that knee or whatever body part, then it's less likely to get injured because scar tissue is weaker than regular tissue. So you think of the body as band-aiding it with scar tissue, and then all of a sudden you re-injured again. Well, what's the weakest link? That's scar tissue. So it injures again. And then it's almost like when you look at it under ultrasound, you actually see there's normally flat bone, and then the tendon is on top of it. Sometimes you'll see like a break in the bone, and that's the body basically tearing that tendon off. And then what happens is almost like a city with asphalt, and then there's a pothole, and the city comes in and lays flat on it. That's what happens with the body is you'll see this little bump on top of the bone on ultrasound, and that tells you that there's chronic injury that keep happening, and the body keeps slapping it kind of on. So we see that a lot, unfortunately. But maybe he's lucky and he doesn't get that. He doesn't have that risk. I don't know. All I know is he's a special talent, and it's a privilege to be able to watch him.
No doubt. Doc, thanks for the updates as always. Hopefully we'll get you Friday before the next round, and hopefully it'll be a better round and a healthier round this weekend.
It will be. It's a big-time game, JB. It will be.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
It will be. You have a good one, too. It will be because I said it will be. You got Bills and Ravens. It's going to go down as a historical matchup. The Texans will actually play the Chiefs tighter than you think as well, contrary to belief. That defense has woke up. C.J. Stroud's back to looking like C.J. Stroud. They will play the Chiefs tight, but the Chiefs will win that game. And then to watch out for the Washington Commanders against the Detroit Lions. That might be a shootout in Detroit, my brother.
You're just jumping all over the show.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Stay on track. We haven't even done the quote of the day because of you.
Dude, hold on. The irony is that Jason wants to stay on track today. Let's do it. Let's do it then, Jason. Quote of the day.
You usually keep me on track with the quote of the day. Today you just ignored it. You just literally just said I'm
horrible. That's why it's been bad lately. So
you've been horrible. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. Head on over to BetUS today. Get all the picks in. NBA's tonight. If anybody still watches, I don't, but guess what? Smitty does. So go check it out. NBA, WNBA, whatever you guys want to do. It's the same thing now. Same. Go check it out. BetUS. Use my promo code CoachJB. 150% bonus up to $2,000 and protection. So make sure you head on over to BetUS today. Quote of the day, Smitty. Your actions will never change how I do me, but they will change how I do you. I don't think they got it, homie.
That's top 11, homie. That's top 11, homie. That's
11.
Nice. He said, your action ain't gonna change how I do me. I'm gonna do me regardless. But your action will change how I do you, how I treat you, how I respect you, how I talk to you, how I converse with you, everything. I do judge. That's top 11, homie. I like that.
How I fuck you, all that.
What?
Huh?
What was the last one you said?
How I fuck you. Quote of the day is a great one, obviously, BetUS. But head on over to Prize Picks today if you want to hear JB's contrary to belief on the audio side. So head on over to Prize Picks and use my promo code CoachJB. Smitty, most of the enemies that you have are people you once helped. Contrary to belief. Contrary to belief. Most of the enemies that you have are people you once helped.
Bailey needs to hear that today. Bailey needs to hear that today as a young person. I'm glad you said that. He needed that for his mind today. I don't know. Some of my heart told me that he specifically needed that. Come on, y'all. Don't trust everybody, y'all. Don't trust everybody, y'all. I'm not surprised when I get stabbed. I'm surprised when I turn around and see who put the knife there.
Who taught you that?
Facts, homie. Huh?
Who taught you that? Who told you that?
It's my homie Jason.
I don't know, Jason.
Yeah. He's one of them.
Blake said, time to look for a new co-host.
Let me see. Call in, Blake.
He also said California is a cesspool. But I said if
Blake, I want to see Blake face to face. I want Blake to call in today. I want to talk to Blake.
Let's do a poll question, Smitty. And then we'll get into what you want to talk about so bad and what these fucking dick riders in the chat want to hear so bad. Poll question, Smitty. Do the Vikings keep Sam Darnold? Go ahead, Smitty. Go ahead.
No. Stick a fork in him. It's over. In the biggest moments, this is what you get. We learned a lot this year. We learned that Sam Darnold has all the skills to be a top-tier quarterback. We learned that with a lot of good weapons around him, he can win you a ton of regular season games. But we also learned, and we already knew this, but this just reaffirmed what we already knew, that in the biggest moments, he will choke. Now, yesterday's game was not all on Sam Darnold. I want to be 100% fair. I think that O-line at times didn't hold up. I think, although they were bracketing Justin Jefferson, I still thought that, he could have been more impactful. There was different, things that they could have did. Penalties. It was a lot on that game. But at the end of the day, you're the quarterback. You're the captain. You're the leader. He's been getting all the praise in the world all year long for their wins. So when they go out here and they lose, this is what you get. They lost 4 games this season. I think they were both back-to-back games against Lions, Rams. They just could not beat these teams. I knew coming into this game that I'm talking, Jason, put your hands down. I knew coming into this game that
I'm gonna let you keep talking. I just gotta ask you a question. So do you not want him back because you want him still in Indianapolis, as you stated on this show?
I'm getting there. I see you. You jumped ahead of my take. No, I'm just
asking a question.
You fucked up my whole entire the way I was cooking and I was going to lead to that point. I gotta find a way creatively to turn it now.
Yeah, that's how we do it though. That's how you did me.
Circumstance and expectations. And yes, part of me wanting him gone is because I want him in Indy. Why? Not because I think he's going to win a Super Bowl for us. Not because I think he's going to go out here and win a whole bunch of cards, man. Because right now, we're at round 0. We don't know what the fuck to do. So because of that, at least Sam can come in there and win us some regular season games. We might win 12 games. make the playoff, win the AFC South, at least put us in the playoff. He's a regular season quarterback. That's my overall take. He's a regular season quarterback, which is fine. There's a lot of regular season quarterbacks out there. He's a guy that the only way he's going to actually win big time games is if you have amazing talent everywhere else. Number one defense, a number one running game. He needs extreme support in every other position in order for him to take to the promised land. Otherwise, this is what you'll get. Now in Indy, my expectations have changed. We no longer have a Peyton Manning. We no longer have an Andrew Luck. Winning a Super Bowl right now is just non-existent. It's not realistic. So at least win me some damn regular season games. Give me in the playoffs. I will take Sam Darnold in Indiana in Indy because of our expectations. If you're the Minnesota Vikings team, you got number one receiver in the game. You have a young star on the rise in Addison. You got all these guys. One of the top defense in the league. You got all these pieces to be better than what you showed last night. If you're the Vikings or you're a team that has real goals of winning a big time game, Sam Darnold's not your quarterback. He's a regular season quarterback. That's what we learned.
Cool. So is Lamar Jackson. So anyway, moving on amicably, Lamar Jackson is a regular season quarterback. So is Kyler Murray. So is the list goes on and on and on. Name me 8 quarterbacks that you'll take over Sam Darnold right now, all you fucking chat fanboys. It's my turn to talk now, the motherfucker that actually knows the quarterback position in this fucking room. I'm tired of hearing you nobodies in the chat talk about what you would do. You wouldn't do shit. You bag my motherfucking groceries. Stay out this lane. I got it. You motherfuckers have not a clue how hard it is to play in a game that where every single thing is predicated off drop back, 5-step, 7-step, and you got sacked 9 times. Hear me out, Smitty. Hear me out though, because I heard you talk, Darnell Smith Jr. Here's the topic of discussion that nobody wants to talk about. Why do we continue to fucking blame the guy at the quarterback position, and yet we refuse to blame the head coach who's the play caller in O'Connell, the OC in Slovic in Houston, when we get guys injured and we lack creativity in Pittsburgh? Why are we continuing to bash the quarterback when I'm seeing the same shit over and over by the play caller? So Kevin O'Connell last night, as I'm watching the game, and I'm talking to Eric Weddle and other guys, and I'm like, dog, what are we doing? Why is a guy coming from the McVay tree and using a McVay system, but yet they're not doing anything McVay would do against you on the other side of the football? Stafford and the Rams did exactly what the Vikings should have been doing. Boot naked, misdirection, sprint out, get the ball on the run. Why did the Minnesota Vikings not turn back the protection one fucking time and sprint this guy out on the edge when their tackle went out, their right tackle went out, their best tackle, their captain, and we refuse to help the quarterback in protection with scheme? We're dropping back, Smitty. You're a D lineman. Tell me I'm capping, homie, when you're just pinning your ears back knowing I'm throwing the football. And I'm telling you, this guy got sacked 9 times. 3 of them are straight on him. Motherfucker, he did some Shadur Sanders shit. Get rid of the fucking ball. But 6 of them were not on him because you had 0 outlet to throw the football. You got deep-ass crossers, homie. They're running crosser after crosser. We used to call them slice routes, not just a shallow. These were high corner crossers where you got to hold the ball for fucking 6 seconds. And they couldn't block the front for 3. And you're asking me to just throw this guy to the wolves, and all you nobodies in the chat who know nothing, tell me the quarterback you're going to replace him with. A guy who hurt his knee, who's never played in the NFL?
JJ McCarthy, homie. The future.
Never played.
Yep.
A guy that's never played.
Yep. Just like Jaden Downs never played either.
You can't show me that you really don't know football. A lot of you in this chat have no clue what you're talking about, because to protect guys that struggle in the pocket with no O-line, you run RPO, you run a quick game, You run screen game. You run misdirection in the run game to slow the D-line down and all the twists. But guess what? We didn't see it last night. And you guys are so, where are they? What have you done for me lately, Live? Because you live on social media. You live on social media. And when you live on social media and don't watch the film, all you see is end result. You don't understand how they make the sausage. You just want to taste it. You don't want to know what's in it. You don't have a clue how this thing is built. You have not a clue what goes into a game plan. You don't have a clue what's adjusting and what's being adjusted at halftime to stop a front, Smitty.
Yeah.
We can't block. And they're not blitzing, by the way. The Rams didn't blitz, homie. They didn't need to. So they brought a couple DB pressures late. They brought a little bit fire zone. They did nothing real exotic up front. Their two pass rushers fucking got to the queue, and their D tackles blew up the center guard ace blocks all night long in the run game. That's why they took out Aaron Jones and they used Cam Akers more. But what do I know? Because Cam Akers is they could not just hand the ball to Aaron Jones. So as I eloquently break down more football than any of you have ever heard in your life in the chat, you should just shut the fuck up because you have zero knowledge of what you're discussing. Name me, I'm still waiting. I asked a question fucking 6 minutes ago. Name me 8 quarterbacks that you'll take over Sam Darnold. Go. I'm waiting. Still waiting. Because there are none. There are none, homie. Stop.
Is Sam Darnold the first quarterback that had like an average O-line? I'm trying to think through. Like, have I ever seen like other quarterbacks who had like average so
You're still not answering my question, though.
Successful.
But you're still not answering my question.
There's a guy in like I'm trying to think. There's a guy in Cincinnati.
Who are you replacing him with?
For a long time, man. Always to a Super
Bowl. Who are you replacing him with?
He put the team on his back and he got that ball.
I got to keep going, though.
And he didn't make excuses. He just found
I'm not done, though.
He found the way to win games. Even he was greater than his greatest excuse. I'm trying to think.
How many times has he played in the play? How many playoff games has he played in?
Something like that. But maybe Sam Darnold was the only quarterback in quarterback history that ever had an O-line that just wasn't that good. I'm not mistaken. My coach told me that he never had a good O-line, but he always found ways to win games because of his smart, his brain, and getting that ball. So I don't know. I guess the O-line been good all year long. The O-line been great all year long, but last night the O-line was the reason.
We know you don't listen.
We
know you don't listen.
Was the reason. The scheme was the reason. O'Connell was a bad offensive mind. Justin Jefferson was the reason. The running back was the reason. The fucking fans was the reason. If they played in Arizona, the national anthem before the game was the reason. Everybody else was the reason except the motherfucking quarterback. I love this. I hope you do the same. You fight for your life right now. I hope you do the same thing for everybody else in the playoff. If Josh Allen go out there and lose this weekend, fight for him. If Lamar lose, fight for him. Keep this.
Stephen A, are you done talking?
Every other quarterback is going to lose in the playoff because what you're going to say is this: whoever ends up losing, you're gonna be like, he's a fucking he's a no. He can't win a big game. He can't win a big game. Did you win Super Bowl? Did you win Super Bowl? Did you win? That's all Stephen you win. But when Sam Darnold lose, you find every excuse in the book.
Is Stephen A done talking, homie? Is Stephen A done talking?
I know you coached against him in high school, homie, but Darnold don't even like you, homie. He don't even like you, homie. I know you coached him in high school. You're not friends. You ain't got to defend him. You're not friends, homie.
You don't listen because all you did is just like super immature takes you just gave because you didn't do no smart talk about it. There's no dialect in there. There's no forward thinking. It's all micro.
Yep.
So sound like Stephen A. So here's the thing. I didn't say nothing about the O-line. I never blame the O-line. I'm on record saying that coaching comes before O-line. Did I just not say it? So are you going to really compare Joe Burrow, who's been in the 8 playoff games, versus the guy who just played his first fucking playoff game last night? And you're already trying to replace him? Hey, Lamar Jackson lost his first playoff game, homie. Where you at with that shit, homie? You motherfuckers are so fucking blinded, homie, because you all want to talk about bullshit.
Lamar Jackson was a fucking rookie, homie, when he lost his first playoff game. Sam Darnold been in the league for 10 years, homie. Sam Darnold been in the league for 10 years.
First fucking playoff game, homie. Y'all want to turn down he's done. Motherfucker's first game. First fucking game, you ready to throw him to the wolves.
He a 7-year vet, homie. I was in college.
Playoff game, homie.
I was a
His
senior in
first
college when he
fucking
got
real
drafted,
team.
homie.
His first real team he's been on. You motherfuckers want to throw him away. Homie, hey, why haven't you answered the question?
He ain't no fucking
That's
rookie,
what's crazy. I'm still waiting to see, homie, why you haven't answered the question. Why you ain't answered the fucking question?
I answered the question. What's the question? How many quarterbacks are better than Sam Darnold? Lamar's
Because you
better.
can't answer the question, homie.
Better.
You can't answer the question. You can't.
Better.
You can't.
Josh Allen's better. Fucking Jaden Daniels is better. Baker Mayfield is better. I'm trying to go top of my head. I'm trying to keep going.
Mute this motherfucker. God damn. Mute this motherfucker, Bailey. He can't even have a conversation with this motherfucker. He's trying to name motherfucker. You know damn well I'm talking about 8 quarterbacks that are available. You ain't getting fucking Burrow over there, homie. Give me a real take, homie.
You got JJ McCarthy, homie. You got the rookie. I answered your question an hour ago, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen.
Homie. Give me 8 quarterbacks that's available, homie. Don't give me no bullshit.
Scream all you want, homie. It don't make your answer right, homie. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You can yell and scream and get red. And, that tough shit don't work with me, homie. That tough shit don't work with me, homie. I asked you a question an hour ago. JJ McCarthy, put the rookie in. Put the young guy in. We see rookie ball out right now. We saw Darnell Smith do his thing. Put the young guy in because these young guys go out there. They got homie. That tough guy shit don't work with me, homie. That yelling shit I grew up in that environment, homie. All that screaming and yelling, your neck get off, that don't do nothing for me.
Okay, let me ask the chat.
We're not nervous at all, homie.
Let me ask the chat, homie. Hey, Joe Accord, you know so much. Name me 8 quarterbacks that you want him out. Because all of a sudden, it's funny how you motherfuckers are. Joe Accord's a Minnesota Viking fanboy. And then 14 wins, Sam Darnold's the greatest quarterback ever. And now he wants him done and gone. So name me, Joe Accord, knower of all things in quarterbacks. Name me the 8 quarterbacks you want that's available that's better. And don't say J.J. McCarthy, who hasn't played a snap. I actually can't wait for him to leave and you guys be back to 6-win team because that's what's going to happen. You're going to be a 6-win team, Joe Accord, because you think there's so many other guys better. It fucking blows my mind. Give me the weather, motherfucker. Shut the hell up. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes for a break, and I'm going to cook Smitty some more on Deion Sanders.
6 minutes.
You can't.
Go ahead and show the NBA ref last night. I know JB has a very controversial take over this. If you guys didn't see this, she kicked out Andre Drummond for what she initially thought was a technical foul against Wemby, but Wemby was actually seen flopping right here. He just kind of flopped, playing around. She immediately kicked out Drummond. He was confused, but then she ends up going back and saying, "Hey, coach, I fucked up." And she brings him back in the game, which I thought was a shout out to her for admitting she fucked up and brought him back to the game. But Jason, your thoughts on this play, this moment? It was kind of making a lot of noise on social yesterday, so I want to hear your thoughts on it before we go to a quick break.
She's what we call DEI hire, number one. Number two.
Keep saying that, bro. It's pissing me off.
Not really. Who's it disrespectful to, homie? Black? Is it disrespectful to black folks? Is that what it is? Because I'm tired of hearing that shit on social media. This is a white broad, homie.
It's fucking disrespectful, homie. When you say it, whether it's to a black people or women. She fucking high because she did the qualifications.
It's being woke disrespectful too, homie, because I don't know if you know the definition, but woke means wake the fuck up in the hood, homie. So now all of a sudden y'all took woke act like it's a narrative. It's supposedly a bad narrative versus black folk. Miss miss me with that bullshit.
Every time you say DEI, you being disrespectful.
You don't know
to
history
black
enough.
people and
You
women.
ain't been on the
They
earth
said the
long
only
enough,
reason we hired is because we black or we
You ain't been on the
women.
earth long enough, homie. None of my OGs thinks it's disrespectful. Motherfucker, they know what
they old. That's why they OG.
They ain't woke. Because my homies is real. They're not woke, homie.
60 years
Miss
old,
me with the woke shit.
Respectfully.
Miss me with the woke shit, homie.
Don't run the fucking communication world.
No, they actually do. My OGs is who you check in with, homie. They're not bars.
Shit no more. What are you talking about?
You got your motherfucking mind, homie. You can't move around LA without my homies, homie.
We're not talking about no gang shit right now. We talking about
you got your goddamn mind. Gang still run LA, homie.
We're talking about DEI.
Gang still run LA, homie. This ain't Indiana, homie. This ain't Indiana. Gang still run LA, homie. Don't get it fucked up.
DEI ain't got nothing to do with gang language and lingo.
Yeah, it do. Because the narrative is that it's woke is against black folks. That's not. That's what y'all don't get. You don't get it, at least. Because my boys do. That ain't woke, homie. She's a DEI hire. What does she got to do with black folks? She's a fucking DEI hire, homie.
Disrespectful to fucking minorities.
It's not disrespectful.
Black people, women, because you only use it.
Women are minorities?
You never use that term when talking about a white male.
Yeah, I do.
Talking about a white male. You only use it when talking about a black coach or a woman. Every single time. Look at the history of the show.
Because it has to do with the situation they're in, homie. She's in a male sport. That's called DEI. She's not a male.
What facts do you have about her specifically that you know for a fact she did not earn this position? Tell me.
So let me ask you something.
Tell me her history. Since you want to actually say she DEI, what's her history?
Yeah. Well, she's a woman. That's fact, right?
Yep.
Is this an NBA game?
Yep.
Or a WNBA game?
It's an NBA game, homie.
Okay. So that's what's called the DEI. She got inclusive information to get a job in a man's sport as a woman. To be the head referee is the definition of DEI. Not black, not white, not male, not female. She got inside information how to get a job outside of her comfort zone. That is what DEI is. Not black, not white.
It's outside her comfort zone. It's outside of your comfort zone because you still live in a fucking box where you don't want women in certain spaces. That's a you problem. You use DEI because you're basically saying that she's not fucking she didn't earn the position. She got it because she has breasts and a vagina, and you use it the same way in other situations as well. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep it 1,000, homie.
What do you mean?
It's a disrespectful thing to say when somebody has a job when you don't know the history.
Not disrespect. You don't know the history. That's why you're talking out your ass right now. You're looking real ignorant talking, homie. I'm just keeping it funky.
You look super ignorant when talking about people.
Nobody else in the world.
You don't know her name. You don't know what route he took. You don't know what path he took. You saw he has fucking breast and vagina.
Goddamn, homie. This cat don't listen. He don't listen. He's literally breaking down what DEI is and trying to fight for it. It's crazy. We don't need to know, Smitty. That's what DEI means. We don't need to know history, homie. She don't belong. That's what I'm telling you. Why is that disrespectful? Like, here's the problem. So I had this out yesterday with folks on Twitter. I'm glad you brought it up. Are Karens considered woke or not?
I don't know who considered woke. I don't use that term. I don't.
It's crazy. Now we don't know.
I don't.
But y'all, it's cool though. Brothers and everybody came at me yesterday. Y'all knew exactly what the definition was, but now we don't know what woke means. Now we don't know what woke means. So all these white Karen bitches who came around, who made the name Karen famous during COVID and Black Lives Matter movement, now all of a sudden we don't know what Karens are. Karens are white bitches, homie. Last time I checked, I don't know a black Karen. But all the motherfuckers on Twitter came, you know, whoa. Well, what happened to Karen, homie? Karen was woke. What the fuck? What's the difference? It's disrespectful, Smitty, to go in there and be the lead referee for men, to boot a man because a woman by nature is emotional beings, and she made an emotional call, and then she had to go renege, Smitty, and she had to go over there and say, oh, I fucked up because you're emotional. You don't belong in there.
You know how ignorant you sound right now, homie, and I know you don't watch NBA. You know how many fucking men have made emotional decisions because they got mad because the man is yelling at them? Are you fucking crazy, Jason? I'm calling you Jason for the rest of the show now. You know how many men have made emotional decisions as referees and kicked out player because they in their fucking feelings? I respect the fact that she went back and said, hey, I fucked up, and brought him back in the game. She removed emotions, thought with logic, saw she made an error of judgment, and brought him back in the game. You like to use bits and pieces of certain moments of just to benefit your argument. You use this one call, this one situation to say, see, that's why women should be ref. Come on.
Not only is this not one situation, did she not kick out Embiid the same game? Hold on. Did she not eject Embiid in the same game? Oh, yeah, she did, Smitty. She did.
I don't know.
She did. No, she did. I'm telling you right now.
Why?
Darren. You're Darren. You're Darnell with Karen.
Why?
You're Darren, homie.
Why?
You are.
My fault. I know we live, homie.
Fucking VPN. God. DEI.
R2.
DEI hire, homie.
Huh?
Fuck. That DEI. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's get into the show.
Me and my homies hacked this whole shit again.
We got a main man, a non-DEI hire. The Korean Cosell himself, the co-host of Whitlock's Fearless every single morning, and the 3 Knockdown Rule with Mario Lopez, the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gems, our main man, Miami, in the house. Steve Kemp joins us. Steve, what up?
Steve?
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, man.
It's been a while. It's been a crazy. Took Smitty on the boat, on the yacht. He was scared as all get up. He almost had a heart attack, and it is what it is. We tried to break the stereotype to get some brothers out on the boat, and Smitty kind of broke that, but then he didn't. So we'll see how it goes. He's still having nightmares today, Steve, but it is what it is. We got a lot going on, though, Steve. Horrible first round. The worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Last night's game I guess the Rams won. Shout out to LA, the city, for winning for the city that's burning right now. But what's your overall take of this first round? Washington was a good game, I guess, but it's been horrific, hasn't it?
Yeah, the games were kind of lopsided. The chalk held. Yeah, I think Sam Darnold lost a lot of money the last 2 weeks. He looked shaky, holding the ball too long. I get it. Again, I don't have the all-22. But, Sam, I'm going to teach you a little bit about football that I know. And I'm not exactly Mina Kimes level. But in the National Football League, when they bring pressure, your mindset cannot be 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Bro, get rid of the ball. I saw at least 5 plays. I'm like, Sam, I get it. There may not be a hot route open. There may not be a side adjustment that someone picked on. You are leaving your offensive lineman hanging to dry. At least
Steve, let me ask you.
Were on him. And I'm like, bro, get rid of the ball. Because he was 12 of 14 to begin the game, and it was a terrible game. Coach, if you're throwing 8-yard passes on 3rd and 19 because you took a sack, that's bad quarterbacking. That's why stats can be very misleading.
Very misleading.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Losing money because it's a results-oriented business, I agree with you. He lost money because we're all about what have you done for me lately business. But what 8 quarterbacks are floating around that you replace him with? There are none.
But with that being said, I don't give him $50 million.
That's fine. I agree. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is people in the chat and out here in the world today, Smitty included, are ready to just put this guy in JV football after his first playoff game. After 14 wins, blows my mind. It blows my mind.
He's not a rookie, Steve. He keeps saying first playoff game. That's because he hasn't performed well throughout his career.
He's been a fucking whole franchise.
21-year-old rookie. He's a vet.
Jesus Christ.
Vet,
Lamar Jackson lost his first playoff game.
As a young person, though. That's normal. Not when you're
Lamar Jackson lost his first game. Steve, we already argued, Steve. Smitty and I already argued. Here's the bottom line. I got to ask you. I agree losing money, but after watching the last 2 weeks, and I've watched other games, McVay's system does not translate because I just know how it is as coordinator, taking another guy's kind of playbook, philosophy, and trying to implement it with another system. You can see that this guy O'Connell has really – I'm watching him closely last night. I'm going to tell you, man, it's not on Sam Darnold. When you're 12 of 14 to start the game, there's a reason for it. And then when you take 9 sacks, there's a reason for it. Everything became 7-step, 5-step, no play pass, no sprint out. We put this dude in harm's way, and I'm trying to figure out, to your point, if there ain't no side adjust or there's no hot throw right now, and I see 7 on the line of scrimmage and he has no one to throw to but his dick in his hand, that's a coaching issue.
Right.
We got guys running slice routes. For me and Weddle were talking, why are we running a slice route across the end zone when there's 7-man pressure and they only have 6 to block? And this guy's holding his dick in his hand and he has no one to throw to. I'm like, that's a coaching error no one wants to talk about today.
Well, Coach, but here's the issue, though. So for the first 16 games or weeks, O'Connell was the quarterback whisperer.
No. Yeah. Hold on, though. We talked about this, too. Remember, when the playoffs come, the guy that's laughing to your left, my right, who knows that Lamar Jackson is asshole in the playoffs. But anyway, there's a thing called a resume and a book out there, and D coordinators have it. And when you see the 16 weeks of work, guess what D coordinators in the NFL do? They get smart. They change up things. And did you see what Shula did last night for the Rams? He fire zoned him every time into the boundary, meaning I think I'm hot, and now, oh, shit, there's a DN in the lane. I'm not hot. And then they bring 7, Smitty. You know how to play defense, Smitty. You break it down greatly on film here. So tell me, and I'm talking way too advanced for the fucking nobody chat, but I'm just saying, the truth of the matter is he's holding his dick in his hand because he didn't see that through 16 weeks. And now all of a sudden he sees it in the last 2 games, has exposed O'Connell, Steve. I'm just telling you,
right,
no one talks about it.
But there comes a point where Sam has to just get rid of the ball and say, we got to get to the next down. Because when you're putting me consistently in 3rd and above 10, I'm just telling you, that's why that completion percentage is a completely overrated stat at times.
Yeah.
And because if you're just going to be checked down Charlie on 3rd and 16, then you set up 4th and 9. Okay, I'd rather you never get me into 3rd and 16. I get it. I think schematically, Kevin O'Connell got a little bit embarrassed by Aaron Glenn and then last night. But there are times I'm like, hey, Sam, just chuck the ball. Just chuck the doggone thing. Start over.
No, that's true.
It's hard to win on 3rd and 15. It is hard to win on 3rd and 15.
I said it too. I said, you got to throw the ball away. You got to throw the ball away at some point. And I was like, I said it the same thing. I said, you got to throw this football away. And you can't take the sacks. That's Shedeur Sanders and everyone else that's calling it out that he holds the ball too long. We saw that last night. I mean, that's what he did. It's on him. There's no doubt. Throw the ball away. I'm not going to sit here and defend that part. But I will defend the fact that this guy's done a great job all year long in his first real competent offensive scheme around some talent. And now we're throwing him under the bus. And none of you in this whole chat can name me better quarterbacks out there.
I'll say this. 2 weeks ago, the Vikings were thinking, what do we do with J.J. McCarthy? After the last 2 games, we're like, okay, get ready for minicamp. You're quarterback 1. There came a cost. Look, next year, Sam Darnold will start for somebody. He will. He will be one of the top 32 quarterbacks on the face of the earth, making tens of millions of dollars. But again, just like with Brock Purdy, a team better be careful not to bid against themselves. That's all I'm saying about Sam Darnold. He solidified himself as an NFL starter, but as one of the top paid guys, that's the bedrock of your franchise. That's where I think he lost everybody the last 2 weeks.
I agree with you both on that. I'm not saying you're going to pay him big money, but what I will say is I'll put him on at least a 1-year tender deal or a franchise deal for another year, because I want to see the guy consistently show up, that he's in a consistent system. We're going to get rid of him now. He's going to go to the Raiders, and they're not even close to being a playoff team right now. And he's going to struggle again, and we're all going to, he's horrible. And that's what we do with so many quarterbacks in this league. Like, that's the problem I don't get, Smitty. You defend the exact same thing on the other side. But then this guy is shitted on after a 14-win season. Blows my mind. And I'm going to be honest, before you put your hand down, Darnell Smith, here's the thing I got to ask you, Steve. The time clock management and scheme alone last night is why I'm questioning O'Connell, because when you need to run the football early on, when it was 17-3, you're throwing the ball. And I said on Twitter, don't turn this into a 7-on-7 game, because he's going to get sacked 20 times. They should have been running the ball 17-3 to keep the balance, so that you could do play action, run under center, boot naked, get on the run, sprint it out. They continue to throw it. Then they're running the ball down 24.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? That's a coaching error once again. Darnell, you can raise your hand again.
No, I just had a question. So one of your statements you made, you said that if Darnold gets moved to like a team like the Raiders, who's not close to even winning, and he performs bad, we're going to blame him. My question to you, as the quarterback guru and guy who played the position, at what point do we have to expect the quarterback to actually make the team better? It sounds like Sam Darnold has to be in a perfect scenario situation in order for him to succeed. If he's as good as you say he is, shouldn't a quarterback elevate the team and take a team from 7 wins to 12 wins to maybe win a playoff, or take a team like the Vikings, who has a talent everywhere, and be able to win a playoff game? Like, at some point, I mean, this team, the Vikings were a better team than the Rams on paper on the regular season. Like,
they lost both times, Smitty.
I'm saying this team, though, by record, best one in the regular season, was a better
Vikings were a little bit of a mirage, though, Darnell.
They're not a better team. The Rams beat them twice.
I thought their record did not. I look, they had a great year, but sometimes the record, sometimes you're better than your record. Sometimes you're not as good as it. And I give them a lot of credit, though, because I don't think that they're a complete, well-rounded team as much as the Detroit Lions, even when they were banged up, and they stood neck and neck with Detroit for 17 weeks. I give them
crazy,
a lot of credit.
Sam Darnold is Kirk Cousins, basically. That's what I learned.
You two got
that's a good living. Darnell, that's a good living. You're gonna make
he's gonna get paid a lot of money. He's gonna win versus the game. He's gonna lose in the big game.
I just gotta be honest, though. I gotta be honest. Everybody in the chat, that I was wrong about Darnold, but I was right about him for 17 weeks, right? That's how dumb you some bitches are. I'm just gonna be honest. But anyway,
Darnold will be a starter next year somewhere. He's gonna make a good amount of money.
I think I'm in Indy.
I was right for 17 weeks, Steve. I was right for 17 weeks, but today you were wrong about Darnold.
Hey.
Anyway,
by the way, I have another playoff thought from week 1 of the playoffs. And I was trolling Chicago fans a little bit when I tweeted, is Caleb Williams the Sam Bowie of this draft after Jaden Daniels did what he did? Now, maybe I should have gone with Olajuwon, but I don't want to disrespect the dream.
Yeah.
But look, I've said a lot of wrong things, but I was one of the few people, maybe not few, but I said quarterback 1 is not Caleb Williams.
Damn,
that
that's a good take, Steve. I mean, it's early, so we'll see how it plays out. But that's a good take to stand on.
The thing that gets me, then people start putting up Caleb Williams' stats. Guys, his stats are completely empty calories. A lot of those stats were in the second half where they're behind. You look at some of the other metrics. He was kind of, I don't want to say poor, but
he was like, all right.
Chicago better get him a coach and a system where he understands 90% of the time, you better get that ball off in 2.25 to 2.75 seconds. Even Jaden Daniels has to work at it, but Jaden is a better athlete. That is the thing. When you look at Shedeur and Cam Ward, those guys do not have the twitch or the top end speed of Jaden Daniels. So, and Caleb Williams has figured out, I can't outrun NFL defenders the way I did in the Pac-12. Jaden Daniels looks like he's going to be a special guy. Caleb is a guy I think you still have to mold and really work with. I get a lot wrong. I think I got this one right with Jaden.
Yeah, man.
Nah, no doubt.
We shall see. Let's dive into the rundown here a little bit, Jason. Joe Clapp, my guy, Joe Clapp, man, he shared his proposal for an aligned schedule format in college football if he were the commissioner. Let's check this out.
Need more games of Power 4 against Power 4. Preferably, everybody is going to play a similar number or the same number of conference games. And as commissioner, that's what I would mandate. Every conference is going to play the same number of conference games. And then I also believe that we need to take away scheduling from athletic directors. Like, we don't let NFL owners build their own schedule. So why in the world do we let athletic directors build their own schedule? I think that needs to be a centralized process. And if we do that, we can increase the valuable inventory 5, 6, 7, 10-fold. I'm looking at you, fans, and I'm like, I'm about to give you more of what you want. How do we do this? We've got to have an aligned schedule format. That's where we've got to start. And as commissioner, my suggestion for an aligned scheduling format, which every team would take part in, is a 9-1-2 model. Follow me here. 9-1-2. Every team in the country, 9 conference games. Every team in the country, 1 non-conference game against another Power 4 opponent. And every team in the country, 2 games against the group of 5 to help with their budget. So that's how I'm getting to 12. Everybody would play the exact same format.
Shout out to Joe Clapp, man. One of the smartest in the business.
That's pretty good.
I thought it was retarded.
What? Why?
Stop. Joe Clapp.
Why?
Can I give you the real? First of all, we got to stop just giving out shit like this, because unless the NCAA gets involved and we call this amateur football, meaning stop saying student athlete, then you can't take the scheduling out of the athletic director's hands. The AD's fucking schedule so they can make money for their school. You think the AD is going to say, all right, you guys don't play McNeese State this year so we can get $1 million from Alabama. Come on, Joe Clapp.
He's not saying they're going to do it. He's saying if he was commissioner, this is what he would do for the betterment.
I'm telling you, you can't do it.
Right?
I'm telling you, you can't do it. The ADs would lose their ass. They would all be fired, Smitty.
Well, Coach,
come on, man.
Do you agree, though, that every conference should play the same amount of games?
Yes, 9.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Yeah, we've been saying that, yeah.
Because I know this is going to happen with Miami in the upcoming year. They have 8 home games. I don't get it. Sometimes a team has 6 home games. Other teams like Ohio State always seem to have 7 or 8. I think there needs to be some uniformity in that. One thing I would say, though, if you don't do any of that, I would just say, in terms of the playoff 12-team format, number one, just because you win a conference, you should not get a bye. If you win a conference, you're the 7th best team. It should
just rank them. Fucking rank them. Yeah.
The thing is, I would just like I think the National Football League gets it as right as anybody. I would continue to reseed the teams.
Here's the thing, Steve. Here's the only issue. The only issue I have with all this that no one discusses is the Alabama SEC West 9 games the same as the fucking Big Ten North? No. See what I'm saying? That's why this is never going to be correct, and it's never going to be right, because Maryland and the Big Ten, I got to go play Maryland and Rutgers and shit, and then I got to go play fucking Georgia, Florida, and Ole Miss.
But, Coach, you know what's funny? You bring up Alabama. You know they don't play Florida every year? They play them about every 5 to 6. They don't play Georgia every year.
Georgia,
they don't. And that's when on SEC, we play everybody. Yeah, every 7 years. Alabama and Georgia rarely play.
No,
or
but
do
you
not
know,
play like every other year. They play about 5-6 years. Now they may be in the
but you
championship
get my point,
game.
though. Like, I just think you need to make it. I'm just saying my point overall is the 9 games have to be
Right,
so.
Coach, this is the reality. The SEC will always get more seeds on an annual basis or regularly than other conferences. Other conferences, you get 1. You better win the conference. There's no second place for the most part. And I think the SEC and Big Ten are trying to leverage it that they get 4 automatic bids. They've actually admitted that.
Here's the other thing that Joe Klatt said. Like, so the AD, you can't take the AD scheduling out because they're hired by the institution to make money for the athletic department. So they schedule those games. You're never going to take that away from them. Number one. Number two, they also schedule per student athlete how to schedule their things around that school schedule. Some are on quarters, some are on semesters. Smitty understands this. UCLA is a quarter system. Right. USC is a semester system. The ADs are always going to be involved, and I wouldn't want to change that because they know their landscape better than you, Joe Klatt, or me, JB, or whoever else that says they want to be the commissioner. I think that part of it is asinine to say because athletic directors are going to control their schedule because it makes sense for their school.
And the other part, you have regional rivalries that there may be a tradition, and you're going to tell me I can't do it. I'd have a real issue with that.
Yeah, you got to keep. And then the 9 games, I agree with it. Everyone needs to play the same amount of games. I just don't know how you coordinate that across this crazy landscape when you have teams that aren't the same in every conference, meaning how many teams? You got 18 teams in this conference. You got 12 in this one. It needs to be some sort of – and then Notre Dame needs to get put in one. So, like, it's just so much other things to talk about, man. I don't know. I don't know how you change it, but I don't think anybody's going to be commissioner. Like, it just ain't going to be it because there's too much money. They're not going to pay a guy commissioner to dictate this thing, in my opinion. So, I don't know.
Probably never be a perfect system. But moving on to another topic, man, that's been trending online. Boise State OC is claiming that Oregon tampered with players after the Fiesta Bowl. I don't know if there's a video here. We have a quote right here. It says, I know for a fact that just last week after the Fiesta Bowl, one of the key starters on defense got a call from the Oregon Ducks offering him $700,000. I guess what's the reaction to this? To me, it's not this is the new age football. This is the era. I think that tampering's been going on for quite some time. Whether you think it's right or wrong, that's your opinion, but this is not a shocker to me, Steve.
Well,
what's your thoughts?
I disagree. They were probably tampering before the Fiesta Bowl, and they probably were tampering during the regular season. And I'm gonna go Kimston White again. Yeah. We need to be snitching good. Snitch. I would start getting phone records. I would start getting phone records. I'd get the name. And I'd go on the media guide for Oregon, and I would post it out there. Hey, this guy's been calling our players with this full name and picture. If there's no honor among thieves, there are no rules. So as Charleston White would say, yeah, I'll be doing that snitching, y'all.
JB, would you snitch?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I mean, you've been snitching forever, so that makes sense. But
yeah, I'm snitching. I hate snitching in the streets, but I'll snitch on a motherfucker in a heartbeat trying to take my players or do this other shit because they all do it. They're all doing it, and they're just dry snitching. They're doing it behind your back. So why not call them out for it? Like there's just it's unbelievable, man. This shit is crazy. You're not gonna try to grab my kid. To me, it means you can't recruit. If you out there getting players from...
I don't disagree. I'll tell you something. What's interesting. Miami is probably going to get a player by the name of Xavier Lucas. He went to Wisconsin. Looks like he has an NFL future. He was a South Florida kid. And now all of Miami's problems in the secondary are going to be solved by Xavier Lucas. Here's my view of it. And this is my question to Mario Cristobal. Mario, what was going on with your staff that a kid that I know people in their sophomore year said that guy should be at Miami, but we slow played him? There's a reason why he ended up at Wisconsin is because your player personnel department goofed. They got on him late, and now we have to do stuff to get him back from Wisconsin. My view is this. We knew what we were doing. He would have been at Miami last year.
See, that's the thing, Steve. See, nobody wants to talk about it. The portal is twofold. It allows kids to leave that don't want to face that smoke. They don't want to fucking have any tough skin. They can't take their ass ripping. They don't want to compete. They're sitting second, third string. They don't want to sit there and fight through it. But it also allows you to poach them.
Yeah.
Because if you shut it down, then you couldn't be poached by these. I don't know what you want to call it.
By the way, Miami has made some upgrades in their player personnel recruiting department. We got the clown show out of there. Some serious adults have gotten those positions. I believe that the next version of Xavier Lucas, a kid that grew up in South Florida, in the state of Miami, as they say, will just be a hurricane. I actually think when Miami has to go and do this, it means that we failed 2-3 years ago.
And Steve, I gotta be honest, that quote right there from, like, when I see quotes from guys and they don't say, because I know Dirk Cutter a long time, and I don't know if that's from him, man. Because he would say, because he's especially on his way out retiring, he got a call from the Oregon Ducks. Dirk Cutter would have said he got a call from XYZ, whatever the name is. He wouldn't say, to me, it doesn't align with him, but I see why. And I know why he left, because the overall picture of this thing.
Look, if I am a program that's not a true blue blood, and I offer a 2 or 3 star kid that I had the foresight to say that kid in 3 years can be something really good, and we're going to develop them, we're going to use our program, we're going to use our resources, we're going to invest in him, that would piss me off if by his redshirt sophomore year, and he's ready to really make me a better, smarter coach, gets poached. I'd be like, well, wait a minute. I see this in boxing all the time. I'm the one who developed this kid from 4 rounds. I'm the one who got him to 8 rounds. And just as he's to fight the world championship, some other trainer or manager take him from me, of course you'd be pissed off. All these people that don't understand that.
And Smitty and Steve, this is why that quote from Dirk Cutter, I'm questioning, because how many $700,000 players does Boise have?
Well, okay.
There's no way, man.
Well, it's
Stop.
for play, though. I agree.
Yeah, I get it.
But NIL has been,
I get it.
And I've said this again. The NIL is about that Tim Tebow at Florida.
Right.
The Chris
Reggie
Webber
Bush.
in Michigan, the Reggie Bush
Yeah,
at USC, that if he walks down mainstream LA, Main Street USA, people are like, hey, that's Reggie Bush. But you buy a T-shirt, you buy a pair of the Michigan baggy sweats.
Right.
These kids are just on a salary, which I get, but you know what I'm hearing now, Coach?
Yeah, I agree, but the flip coin is, I know Lanning and that staff at Oregon, and I'm like, I know Lanning is too egotistical to say, all right, I couldn't get this guy first, but I'm going to go pay a $700,000 Mountain West guy? I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm going to be honest. I don't see it. If he couldn't have got him from Boise to Oregon in the first place, I get the Genty things out there. It's an anomaly at Boise right now. I know Boise had LeGarrette Blount. Had a couple big-time players, the kid that got married and shit when they won the Fiesta Bowl. I get it. They've had some decent players. Orlando Scandrick, one of my former players, went there as a freshman, was an All-American. They've had decent players. But let's be honest. If you can get them from Oregon in the first place, then I'm not going backwards.
Right, well,
I'm just telling you.
Coach, you know where the NIL, Darnell, is really getting really wacky? Now the players, they're getting their money. But now the parents are saying, well, part of this deal, can we get first-class flights to all the road games? Can we be put up at a 4-star hotel? And I'm like, oh, this has become boxing now. They are now essentially using these kids, their own kids, as an ATM and fringe benefits. It's one thing that if I'm one of these boosters that's part of a collective, I get it. I will pay this kid XYZ. That's the going market. We're in the game. But then the parents said, hey, what about me? What about you? You're getting a free education, and your kid's getting paid.
Right.
Well, it'd be nice if I can get, go to the games. Well, yeah, go to Orbit, you son of a bitch. I mean, now it gets getting ridiculous. Seriously.
They're getting talent fees and they're getting riders, basically. It's insane. Steve, you mentioned boxing a little bit in your analogy, so I do want to transition a little bit to boxing before we end off with a little bit of college football. A lot of boxing news kind of went on the last couple of days. I'll start with Tyson Fury announcing his retirement. This one, I know boxers say they're going to retire all the time, but with Tyson Fury, it actually kind of would make sense. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, a little older, lost these last 2 fights. Seems like he's kind of slowed down. Do you feel like this is it for Tyson Fury?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's done this before.
All right.
Death, taxes, and Tyson Fury announcing his retirement. I don't take it seriously. Nobody does. This won't be the last time. That's not the first time he's done it. And the theory is he's asking or trying to leverage some bargaining power as they start to embark on the negotiations for Anthony Joshua. Who knows where that goes? But Tyson Fury has done this before. He's the boy who cried retirement. So not a lot of people in the sport of boxing are really taking this at face value.
See, that's why I had to ask you. If anybody would know, it would be you. What's a bigger news in the boxing world? I saw it looks like Haney and Garcia might have came to some.
Not really. I heard there were some issues over who would be doing the drug testing, and would it be 24/7, 365? I'm very suspicious of it. Ryan Garcia doesn't seem to like the VADA drug testing system because it actually had the temerity to work. So I believe that the rumors or the reports of that fight being consummated, that rematch, were very, very premature.
Gotcha. Okay, I saw like Haney, Devin had tweeted out something as well, kind of responded. So okay, I wasn't for sure the seriousness of that. And then lastly, okay, I would say the biggest news of boxing, in my opinion, is the Crawford fight with Canelo official for September in Vegas.
It's not official. They are making it. We are now in football terms. We have gotten past midfield. We're probably heading into the red zone, but it has not crossed the goal line. But let's just put it this way. There's more progress on that fight becoming a reality than there was, let's say, 6 months to 12 months ago.
How big would that fight be if it ends up becoming a reality?
I mean, it'd be big. It'd be a big fight. It'd be one that's interesting. There's a lot of intrigue because of the size differential, but also the overall skill. 2 top pound-for-pound guys, 2 guys who are pretty iconic, 2 Hall of Famers. And the question would be, is this Davey versus Goliath? Because Crawford has a lot of tools to trouble Canelo. But Canelo is also a very skillful counterpuncher that can lay traps, and he's much bigger. So that's the thing. But it would be big. It would be a significantly big fight, and I would argue that if it happens in America, which I'm assuming it will, I don't really know, it would be the biggest pay-per-view event in America in 2025.
Vegas, we got to go. We got to go to Vegas. Okay, well, fingers crossed on that, JB. Hopefully it happens. Barry, so let's finish up with some college football. Obviously we didn't have a chance to talk to you about some of the games. Ohio State beat Texas. Now they're going to be facing Notre Dame, obviously, in the national championship on Monday coming up. What's your early thoughts, man? I predicted Ohio State would win it all coming into the playoff just from my eye test. JB thought I was I'm not gonna go on JB, but some people thought I was crazy in the chat. But what are your thoughts and kind of early predictions?
Steve Sarkisian is a choker.
Ooh.
That game was there to be won.
Damn,
it's the truth.
JB,
I have no faith in Steve Sarkisian now. I don't. Some of the stuff he did in that game is a handbook on how to give a game back. You tie the game up with less than a minute to go in the first half, and you give them a touchdown. You have the ball inside the 2 in that play call. And Steve, I like you. You seem like a very friendly guy. But what you did, till you win it, you will never get that over your head.
Steve, I'm good friends, and I've been saying it. And I've actually talked with him about certain guys he hires. I mean, you got to be able to get over the hump, man, when you come against a team that's just equally or more talented. That game was 14-14. I go to anchor my boat off the deal, and it's 28-14. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? As I walked out of the restaurant to the boat, it was 28-14. I had to go back and look at what happened, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Texas needs to move on from Quinn Ewers. He is so shaky in the pocket. He is so shaky, and I'm just like, Quinn, you have some arm talent. But I thought at the beginning of the year, Quinn Ewers had a real shot to do great things. He's had a good career. I wouldn't draft him before round 4 and 5. I just don't think that he holds up well with pressure coming right up the middle. Most quarterbacks don't, but he doesn't have the athleticism to then extend the play. So Texas, That's going to be one of those games that their fans will never, ever get over.
I wouldn't be shocked if Sark entertained the Cowboys job if they were interested. Because
why would Jerry Jones be interested in him, though?
Here's the thing. If
you beat Ohio State, I'm interested in you. You blow that game, I'm not. That's not the guy I want.
If Ohio State wins, could he be interested in Ryan Day potentially?
We've seen this before, though. It's about name, image, and likeness. It's not about just necessarily winning games, because why would you be interested in Deion Damn Sanders then, who ain't won shit? Like, I'm just telling you, like, it's all about sarcasm. Reputation. Been in the NFL.
That's a little different.
I'm just telling you, but that's my point. That's my point, though. You can take a name. I'm just saying, Sark's great with QBs, and he's a great OC. Let's be honest. Head coaching is what we're debating here. You can talk about all you want. OC and QB wise, he could be top tier in football. So I'm just saying, what does the Cowboys need? QB guy, OC. I'm just saying. So it makes sense. But what I'm saying is, I'm just speaking on Sark's behalf, Steve. Steve, you know the landscape. I want to ask you, because at what point do these college coaches just say, I'm tired of rebuilding this shit with mercenaries every single year. I'm just going to go to the NFL. Fuck it.
That may be a factor. Look, the pro job, at least you have multi-year contracts.
Yeah,
at least
man.
You know, in pro football, there's probably 15 to 20 guys that are going to leave. In college football, you have to re-recruit 85 to 100 guys. Who the hell wants to do that?
I'm just asking, like, at what point, Smitty, Steve, does this just wear so thin on you that you're just like, man, I'm tired of chasing this shit. Like, I'm tired of chasing these kids, these parents, these crybabies, these collectives. Just go to the NFL where it's all up and up. We know what everyone makes. I know what I can offer you. I know what the damn free agent pool is. I know how I can lure you here. Let's just talk. I mean, I don't know. But, Steve, I got to ask you about your guys. Miami got Carson Beck. The rumors are out there. It's $8 million, $10 million, $5 million. What did they give this guy, if you know?
What did y'all pay him, Steve?
It's been rumored that it's 4. It's not quite 4. If he plays well, it'll probably end up being a little bit better. But I heard it's not quite 4. I heard there's a cat and mouse game going on.
Purdy, Steve. That's more than Purdy, more than Caleb Williams, more than all Jaden Daniels.
All the rookies.
Like, guys are sticking around. But look, I hear there's a bit of a game that you float numbers out there to keep other teams from even sniffing around. So there's a bit of a cat and mouse game. Look, Carson Beck is the best alternative Miami had. Look, will he have the impact of a Cam Ward? Probably not. But based on what we saw in the second half of that bowl game, if Miami was going to go in with that current quarterback room without a Carson Beck, that's going to be a tough season, because they open up with Notre Dame next year. Labor Day weekend.
Now, is that Emory Jones kid or whatever his name is?
Emory Williams.
Does he now leave? See what I'm saying?
I don't know what he does. He's a different kid, very religious. He may be a kid that just says, hey, I'm good at a college. Let me get my degree. Let me be a team player. Look, he could probably start at a lot of G5 schools. He's not bad. But if you're Mario Cristobal, from going to 7 to 10 wins, you can't go backwards. It's not what you need. Carson Beck gives you a shot to be functional on offense and to be multi-dimensional. Although, look, he's thrown for a lot of numbers. He's put up like some good stats. He's won some big games, played in a great conference. 12 interceptions last year. There were times, and I was at your house, JB, that Florida game, he put that ball in danger for 3 quarters, and I'm like, something's wrong with him. But he lost Brock Bowers. That was not talked about enough. Ladd McConkey was another guy that he missed, and Georgia's receivers dropped like 37 passes this year, leading the country. He did not get a lot of help in the run game. Carson Beck just has to be solid and serviceable, and he gives us a shot to win every ACC game. So that's what you need. I'm not expecting Superman. Just be solid.
Okay, so you kind of said what I was going to ask. So your overall thoughts as getting him, is he your favorite pickup in this free agents?
I don't know who else we could have gotten.
Free agency?
Look, when he's on a rhythm and he makes sound decisions, he can layer the ball. I know that a lot of fans wanted John Mateer, the other kid out of Washington State, very athletic. He had his heart set on going to Oklahoma. This was not a great quarterback market in terms of the transfer portal this year. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And most people think he's the number one player in the transfer portal regardless. Again, you have to weigh this. It's like a person in a bad relationship. Do you have better options out there? And Carson Beck is a pretty good option based on the current circumstances. And he's a bridge quarterback.
I want to coach so bad right now. I want to coach so bad today just because, like, are we going to fucking coach anymore? Are we going to develop a goddamn high school kid ever again?
Then, Jason, come back.
Coach.
I'm just saying,
Like,
like,
you say you'll never coach. Now you say you want to coach.
You can take a talented kid. You can take a talented kid and coach that motherfucker and make him legit.
JB, let me tell you something. I've been asking this of Miami fans. I'm like, hey, guys, we know we all love Mario. At what point does he say, okay, my guys, this better be the last quarterback portal guy, because I hope, again, Luke Nickel, that's the young man that we're thinking. Then we have Darion Coleman, who I think has a lot of possibilities. I hope and pray he grows another inch or two, because he has a chance to be like a Bryce Young type of player in my view. He's got special arm talent, but he's a little bit short. But if you look at the playoffs, the Final Four, I believe 3 of the 4 quarterbacks were transfer portal guys, were they not?
I think so.
Ohio State,
Notre Dame,
Notre Dame.
But that doesn't change. That doesn't change my thought or ideology or philosophy in this whole thing, or my thought about what I just said. Because at the end of the day, we're sitting there and we're keeping up with the Joneses. If 3 of the 4 are transfers in the Final Four, it's just keeping up with the Joneses. It still doesn't change the fact that we're not developing
I'm with
anybody.
you. And look,
You know what I mean?
I'm going to repeat this. After Carson Beck has an all-ACC year, knock on wood, I hope to God that they have hit on Luke Nickel and they say, okay, we can ride with that guy for 2 to 3 years, and then we have Darion Coleman, and we can start the assembly line. I'm with you. I kind of miss the old days where a player and a program had to work it out and develop together and say, you know what, we just can't go into the Amazon.com and say, well, I need a cornerback. What's that guy from North Dakota State is good. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm really not.
The problem is, though, we used to be able to get, I would have 3, 4, 5-star QBs on my roster. Alan will tell you in the chat, he was a 5-star kid, signed with Syracuse. I had him. I had fucking Malik Henry. I had fucking Jay Jones, who was at Georgia Tech, all on the same roster. And you know what? They never left. And guess what? You play the guy that's ready. You get guys ready, and then you get them guys reps, especially at a 2-year institution. This is the same model we're using right now at the 4-year institution level because it's a portal era, so it's JUCO. Right, and you can develop 2, 3 guys, but the thing is, these guys leave, Steve. They don't want to sit there.
They don't, and there was a time where a lot of quarterbacks wanted to be redshirted. There's a story when Michael Vick was being recruited nationally. His coach was a guy by the name of, it was Coach Beeman. He was actually in the movie North Dallas 40. And he told Frank Beamer, he goes, Frank, I trust you. We're going to make one deal here. You have to redshirt Michael Vick. You have to actually redshirt. You're not playing him early because he's not ready. But you have to if you do that, we're going to Virginia Tech. Now think about a player today telling somebody, well, I want a redshirt. You know why? Because there's a 3-and-done mindset from the handlers to the coaches to the advisors. Me personally, I would say, hey, kid, I actually wouldn't mind you getting 2 degrees out of this school and stay 5 years. Let's get some NIL money. I don't want you going to 3 schools. But that 3-and-done mindset puts pressure on kids to play as early as possible.
Right.
And they get impatient because they're thinking, oh, my draft stock's getting hurt. Bro, you've been here for 3 months. What are you talking about? There is no draft stock yet. This whole mindset has impacted the way people develop and also handle their own careers.
That's a good point. I don't understand what's the rush, especially now when you, like you say, you're making so much money. There's no rush to get out of college. I love college. It's easy for you, especially when you're a star player like that. So,
well, Smitty, I remember Florida State when they were really good under Bowden. They went through the order's not perfect. Danny McManus, Chip Ferguson, Peter Tom Willis, Casey Weldon and Brad Johnson, and then Charlie Ward, and then Thad Busby, and Danny Cannell, and then Chris Wanke, right? Wanke was a minor league baseball player. Throw him out. But that lineage of really good quarterbacks, every single guy did not play till about their third, fourth year. And they were okay with it.
Look at that scene, Carson and Leinart and fucking Matt Castle, all on the same roster.
And by the way, Smitty, every guy that Bobby Bowden would trot out the next year, they looked like a seasoned veteran. Yep. Like you could just run that offense from day one, and guess what? They had 14 straight years of a top 5 finish. That's amazing. I don't know if it can be done today because, Brad Johnson did not really even start his senior year. He kind of split snaps. Went on to a long NFL. Matt Castle at USC. I don't think he ever started one game at USC. That will never happen nowadays, guys. It just cannot happen. And you know what else, too?
People don't want to talk about Kyle Trask, who I recruited to Indy, who never played it down at Manville in Houston, behind your guy that went to Miami. Forgot his name. What was his name? The QB that transferred from Houston to Miami.
De'Aaron King.
King was a starter at Manville. I had 4 of their wide receivers at Indy. And then I was like, who the fuck is this big white kid? I want him. Well, he goes to a Florida camp, rips it, and Florida signs him at a camp. He never played it down at the high school in 4 years. And I'm like,
great year with Dan Mullen in 2020. He's a backup for the Tampa, isn't he?
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, would that ever happen again? Ever? No. Like, that kid's not staying at high school for 4 years behind another D1 kid. He's out. And he's 6'5", 240, can run and throw. Like, nah, he's out. Great kid, stayed there. I just don't think you'll see it no more. And that's why. But I know the head coach at the time was a great guy that got him to buy in and got him developed. He actually coached Trask, even though he didn't start. So, I don't know.
Hey, guys, I got to get ready for my Fearless segment. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Have a good one, man. Appreciate you always. Always a pleasure having Steve Kim come over here and drop some gems. Before we go to our next break, Jason, I did want you to kind of react to some news that was kind of big here in the UFC world, I'll say. UFC Hall of Famer.
I didn't know Malik Henry played at ELAC. I didn't know Malik Henry played at ELAC.
I didn't either.
I know, because he didn't. Some of you just need to shut the fuck up. Some of you just need to shut the fuck up. Do you ever get embarrassed by being so fucking dumb that you just figure out I should just shut the fuck up because I'm not very smart of a human and my daddy should have pulled out? Have any of you ever just thought that? Because a lot of you need to actually start saying it out loud to your neighbors, your friends, and your mom. And just say, Mama, why didn't daddy pull out? And shoot it on your face?
Oh, shit.
Because I'm a nobody. I'm absolutely nobody. I shouldn't even be here because I have nothing to give to society or the world. I just give stupid fucking takes because, Daddy, you should have pulled out. Does any of you ever do that? You should. Fucking idiot.
I'm trying to imagine, if let's say JB, for whatever reason, he had to go back into, corporate America, right? And I'm, pitching JB, on the interview. He's, kind of pitching why he would be good for whatever job. He has his button up tucked in, dress pants belt. And the hiring manager is listening, and then they're like, you know what? We actually have some just videos and just moments of you. Could you try to just explain this, that, and the third? And then this would be one of the moments, right? You're going off, and you're like, your motherfucker, daddy should have came on your mama's face. And I'm just I'm trying to picture you in a office and you reacting to that hiring manager, explaining why you said X, Y, and Z. There's so many of these moments when you just spaz out and you just say whatever. It has to feel refreshing, has to feel free to be able to say whatever you want and there's no repercussions, there's nothing to worry about. So I'm just wondering, damn, if you ever had to go into corporate America and work an everyday job, which you won't, but if you ever did, I just wonder how that interview would go. I almost want you to interview just.
What about coaching? What about coaching?
Huh?
What about coaching?
Well, coaching is a little easier, I think, because coaches say crazy shit.
Yeah, but not really anymore. It's so fucking wild. It's what if I tomorrow I go in the interview? What do you think? How that would go?
I'm trying to think. Like, you go in there, they'll ask you the basic questions like, why haven't you coached in a while? What happened? What went wrong here? Blah, blah, blah. And you'll come up, you'll say you blackball, fucking Netflix screwed me, they fucked me over. I'm like, okay, well, to that point, I know you have your show, Coach Jimmy Show with Big Smitty. Let's show a few moments of you just spazzing out on your fans, and can you explain why this? You motherfucking retard, you dumbass motherfucker, you bitch. Your mama should have never had you, dumb pussy. Your daddy should have came on your mama's face, should have right. Like, I'm just curious. The AD is interviewing you, and like, you're seeing yourself say this. The better question is like, how do you respond in that room?
Hey, hold on. Read the chat. Let's play a game. Go ahead.
Okay, let's do it.
Don't use the school, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, Coach Jason Brown, please tell us about yourself. We would like to hear how your educational and coaching experiences relate to this position.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. How you doing, Coach JB? Please tell us about yourself. We would like to hear about your educational and coaching experiences, how they relate to this position.
Why?
We're trying to make sure you're qualified fully for the position at hand.
Why'd you bring me in here then?
Oh, word of mouth.
Then you didn't do a very good job of researching your applicants. You brought me here, so obviously you know I'm qualified, or you wouldn't have me in the interview. Okay, time out, pause. Okay, now we're back to JB and Smitty. We have to stop with the fucking Google questions on head coaching interviews. We have to stop insulting the intelligence of a football coach that is there to do things that none of you on the committee panel would ever do. Because we are open 24/7, 365. You clock in and out and go home and drink coffee and wine with your fucking nobody fucking husband and wife. We stay here and deal with the coach, the kid that got the girl knocked up, the kid that got thrown in jail, the kid that got arrested at 4 a.m, the kid that got beat up, the kid that had a girl in the dorm. 24/7, 365. We are here, not you. Please, ma'am or sir, don't ask me those questions again. Next.
Okay, so I apologize on my behalf. Well, let me ask you another one. What is your coaching philosophy, and how will you implement your vision into the existing mission of the school?
My overall philosophy, coaching philosophy, is a democratic style of leader. That's what I am, with infectious enthusiasms, sir. Tireless attention to detail, as I focus on fundamentals while creating what I call scholar ballers and teaching life skills. Number 1, I'm going to educate. Number 2, I'm going to matriculate. And number 3, I'm going to graduate.
Hey, those are 3 things that are very important to our program, especially that third nugget in graduation. Let me ask you this then, to that point, what experience do you have when it comes to managing budgets, planning travel, and fundraising?
It's really none of your concern because you'll never be there to help me anyway. So,
well, I have to push back there, sir. We do like to support our coaching staff to an extent, and we try to provide the resources at hand that can best suit them in their fundraising abilities and their budget abilities. So I do have to push back here. We do things differently here at this university.
Then why are you not doing it? Why are you asking me to do it?
Well, we support. We don't fully do it.
Then you don't support. Because I shouldn't be fundraising. I should be coaching and recruiting. Time out. Back to JB and Smitty. We got to stop with the bullshit Googleable questions. Understand something. You guys on the committee know nothing about my job. You are just checking off boxes because it's part of your HR requirement to interview a coach that you have no idea how to accomplish his job or her job. Stop it. You have to stop doing that. Guess what I do on fundraising? Shit that you don't want to fucking know about. Because you know why? 99% of my kids are, guess what? Inner city kids. You know what? Good luck fundraising for them. Go out there and fucking tell them to a bunch of white corporate America people that, hey, I need some money, dog, for my program here. You willing to help? Hell no. I ain't helping that motherfucker. Do you realize what you're asking me? All right, back to the interview.
Okay, apologies for that. Hopefully, I guess I'll just have to trust that you can bring in the money for the program and I won't ask any questions. But I do want to provide a scenario for you. So let's say a student athlete of yours who resides in a residence hall was involved in a physical altercation with a non-athlete student of the college of the residence hall. How would you handle this scenario?
This question. You don't want to know what I'll do. I'll choke the shit out of them, and I'm going to cut them because I have 200 student athletes that is equal or better than him. And I'm being a little facetious when I say choke him. I'm not going to put my hands on him, but meaning that he's going to be cut. He's going to be let go. And my players may fuck him up on the outside. So anyway, but that, again, ma'am, you don't know about this. You don't know how this operates. You don't want to know. You want to eat the sausage, but you don't want to know how it's made, ma'am. Fairness to you, no offense. But understand, don't ask me this question. It's very, very, I just Googled it on my phone, and that's the question that popped up. So why are you guys not asking me real questions? A student athlete who resides in the residence hall was involved in a physical altercation should be suspended from you. Number one, I don't run the residence hall. That's an academic institutional piece of land. Number two, if he was involved in a physical altercation, that violates my code of conduct that I've issued to my players. So he will be cut or he will be dealt with accordingly. You don't need to know how he's going to be dealt with. Number three, he's going to be replaced because I have a bunch of players equal or better. That's how we do things here. So stop asking me these stupid questions. Okay, go ahead, Smitty.
Well, I have a question here from my coworker here. Will you be open to being an inclusive staff and hiring analytic experts that are potentially ladies, females of the sort? At this university, we do pride ourselves on inclusion.
Can you repeat it?
Yes. Would you be open to being an all-inclusive staff and hiring analytic experts that are female? We do pride ourselves on inclusion and believe everyone deserves an opportunity to thrive at our university, and that includes our women.
Can I see her?
Why do you need to see her?
What?
Why would you need to see her, sir?
Is she on campus now?
Yeah, she is on campus, but I'm just trying to ask you, why do you need to see her?
Bring her in. Can you get her? I'd like to see her.
We'll bring her in. We'll bring her in, but I'm just kind of confused on why you need to see her. Can we bring Liz in? Can we bring up Liz? I think she may be busy. I think we have a picture of her.
Okay, I'll keep talking. Bring her in. I want to see her because if she has like a nice put together body and she's attractive for recruits, then yeah, I'll hire her. But she'll be a director of football operations off the field role, to answer your question. If she's a big wobble body, to be fair to you, no offense, no, have no place for her. She won't serve us any purpose. She is not going to create men, to your belief, contrary to you guys' belief. All inclusive.
You have a picture of her right here. This is Liz. She knows the game like no other. She's degreed. She grew up. Her father, used to take her to games her entire life. She's been a student of the game for her entire life. She knows coverages. She knows analytics. This is someone who is truly, truly passionate of the game. We love Liz at this university, and would love to keep her on staff. Is this someone that we could, keep on your staff?
Is that a girl?
Excuse me?
Is that a female?
Yeah, yes, sir. Well, why would you ask such an inappropriate question? Yeah, this is Liz.
I didn't know that a bit inappropriate. I didn't mean to be inappropriate. I'm asking a real question. She looks like a boy. I thought it was a boy. I thought you asked me if I would hire a girl. You asked me if I'd hire a female. What?
It's a lady, sir. And you're kind of offending me right now for our university. I'm not really a fan of this.
I don't apologize, but I will say this. That's a you problem, ma'am. Because you asked me if I'd hire a lady. That's not a lady. That's a little boy. I'm just trying to be honest. That's a little boy. I don't know if you guys understand the difference.
Sir, we do have another one. We do have another one as well. This is Elizabeth as well. You know, she's a little younger, but she's new in profession, very motivated. Could we keep her on staff? Is that possible?
As what?
Analytics. She wants to work in analytics. That's her passion. That's her dream.
No, I don't want her. She could be the water girl or the cheer coach.
She doesn't cheer. She wants to coach, sir.
Oh, she can coach. Maybe she can start Pop Warner or something. Maybe she can start lower level, but not here at this college.
Sir, we are offended, and I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to think you may not be the right person for this position, for this role. I have one more question for you.
Probably not.
Why haven't you coached in so long, Coach? What happened?
Because of people like you on this interview panel. You just don't understand what it really takes to grow and raise and lead men. And that's why, you know, great friends of mine like T. Rich was a great ambassador at Alabama who was led by a man. And now his program in alma mater is falling bad because they have a guy that's not really that guy leading. And they've hired girls to coach. So that's why. But what do I know?
Well, you know what, man, Jason? Fuck you. We're not bringing you in. T. Rich is here. We done, man. We done, man. Back to JB. Back to Big Smitty.
Did I get the job?
Homie?
Did I get the job?
Nah, you didn't get the job. Chat, let us know. Did JB get that job? Did he interview good enough to get the job, y'all? What do y'all think? We're doing a little acting right there, T. Rich. If you hopped on late, a little acting. JB was interviewing and showing how he would interview for a job, how he would answer certain questions that the AD might ask him during that interview. So that was the whole synopsis of what went down. Chat, let us know right now. Hire or fire? Just put that in the chat. Hire or fire? T. Rich,
I killed it. That's how I would interview T. Rich, by the way, if I got a job interview tomorrow. They would absolutely want me out of the interview. There's no way. No way, T. Rich. There's just no way. There's no way. They can handle me. I'm just telling you. I don't know. It's crazy.
Hey,
but anyway.
Hey, I don't know if y'all talked about it yet, man. I'm just turning on the TV. It says Jerry Jones spoke with Deion Sanders about the Cowboys head coaching job.
I know.
I mean, this just headlines, you know. We ain't putting no, you know, we ain't got the scoop, you know. This just headlines.
Bailey and Matt think no way they can't leave Colorado. He's not leaving. I think he's gone.
Why
but
not?
that's just
marketing ploy, man. I got some insight. I just can't tell everything I know.
Why
this
wouldn't
is
he
marketing
leave?
ploy. He's not going nowhere.
But why wouldn't he leave though?
Huh?
Why wouldn't he leave?
He don't want to deal with the NFL players. He's cool with he has a passion when it comes to teaching young men to be men. I think that's what it really comes down to. And although the college level has changed and is very similar to NFL, it's still not fully NFL. And the egos at that level and dealing with these guys who are making $50 million, not just $3 million, $2 million in a few small cases at the college level, is a different beast and a different animal. And he's spoken out about not wanting to deal with those types of players. And you talk about just pressure. And listen, Deion's never shied away from pressure. So I'm not saying like he's scared of pressure, but I'm saying you go into the Dallas Cowboys, man, and if you don't turn that thing around immediately, it's going to be all hell. All hell's going to break loose. He has full autonomy at Colorado, full control of the program. I mean, he's just got a 5-star QB, got a 5-star left tackle. Like, he's really building something here. I think the job's not finished. Make the playoffs at least. Win a big time bowl game there, and then let's talk about moving on to the next thing. You know, before you leave. That's my answer to why I think he would stay. Now, contrary to all that, if Jerry Jones offers him the job, if I'm his advisor, if I'm his homie, That's a Dallas Cowboys team, Rich. You know, if they offer me the job, shit, I'm gonna just take it and figure it out. It's the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of money, and once you become the Dallas Cowboys coach, you're solidified forever. And just imagine the headlines and the news and just the media that for the entirety of the time he's in Dallas, how big it will be. You got the biggest brand of sports versus one of the biggest names in the college and athlete world combining together. That's fucking, you know, that's from a media standpoint, I would love it. We'll have something to talk about every single day. But I truly think Deion's at a point where he just wants to develop young men, and not just on the sports side, but as like the humanity side, and like actually teach them how to be young men. So that's my opinion.
See, I think, and I look at it two ways, right? I feel like you're like, why would you go? But at the same time, why not? Like for Deion, for Prime, like for Coach Prime, like the marketing right now, like he's at an all-time high when it comes to people wanting that type of attention right now. With the new day and age, with the culture and all this other stuff. So, I mean, I can see Dallas, Atlanta. I can see Oakland. I mean, well,
Vegas Raiders. Yep.
I can see that type of, you know, atmosphere for him. And I think that, man, like if I'm Prime right now, Coach Prime, I think he's gonna ride on that high. Like, hey, why not? Because he's doing some shit that we've never seen done before. You know what I'm saying? Like he took that head start, and a lot of HBCU coaches was mad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they was hot about it, and it was like, bro, like what he's doing though, man, like is like it's never been done.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, like, if he jumped to the NFL and drafted his son first round, or draft both his sons in a Travers or something like that too, you know, that's gonna never be done before, bro. And then it might not never ever be done again. I just think, man, for him, for Coach Prime, I think that would be a move for him as Coach Prime. But I think, you know, on the other side of being real life type stuff, like, bro, like, yeah, I think he need a lot more to develop in actually winning some big games, and, you know, getting in that, you know, that big bowl game, getting in the playoffs, like you said, man, and you know, capitalizing on that, man, because you're getting the players in now. You know what I mean? You got 2 years underneath your belt. Fit to go into that third year, and this is going to see where you peaking it and where you really need to, you know, grow it, you know, in your coaching style. Is you gonna be a motivator? You're gonna be a coach? You're gonna be, you know, somebody's gonna be able to go in at halftime and change the whole program around, the whole playbook? Like, what type of coach are you going to be without your sons? That's like, you know, that's what people want to see. And what kind of players are your sons going to be without you? And so, you know, that's just questions up in the air too, you know. So that's a challenge too. Like, dang, like I ain't gonna be able to coach my sons no more. I've been coaching my whole life. Like, you heard it in his interview. They're like, man, you know, I just had to take the time. Like, I ain't gonna never coach my sons again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's big too. You know, he hits you in right there in the face. And I tell people all the time, bro, like, I think what he's doing for his kids, bro, is honorable. And a lot of people don't realize that too. Like I feel like as a father, and I had to get this from somebody else, bro. Like, as a father, you're like, man, and this is somebody that's been there, done that, on a level to where, like, they had this man on a TV show and he didn't get compensated for what he, you know, should have been compensated. You know, and it's not even talking about him; it's talking about the kid. You're like, man, I wish I would have did more for my kid. As in, like what the Ball brothers has, you know, going on right now. You know, I wish I would have done more for mine, because I've set so many other kids up, and my son is still having, you know, he's doing good, but I should have got him farther along on my name as I should have. You know what I'm saying? Like a Bron and a Braun. You know what I'm saying? Like
maximize your brand and your name.
Yeah, let me maximize, because this is what I work for every day. Now you gonna have when I get you there, bro, you're gonna have to do your own shit. You gonna have to go. You gonna have to show up, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know, some people be like, man, nah, man, they need to get on their own. I get that part because I had got it on my own. But shit, if I got a chance, I have an opportunity for my son, don't have to go through all the other BS, and he can get there and perform because he's been trained for this. Now I ain't gonna say his son ain't been trained for this. His kids are trained to be those type of guys.
Yep, and I think that's what you do as a parent too. You really want to help them grow. and make their lives a little easier. Something I do want to ask you though, real quick, T. Rich, man, and I know we.
Hey, Smitty, before you ask that, I just want to keep on that same subject. There's a clip soundbite out there after the game that a former Cowboy, Super Bowl champion Cowboy, Troy Aikman, he not really feeling Jerry Jones. It seems like. I don't know the sentiment. Like I'm curious to get what you think. If it's the same energy, Smitty, for the Dion take that you had versus what I said. I'm with T-Rich. Why not? But Troy Aikman seems to think there's something else going on.
I was going to play.
Yeah, take a listen.
I don't know that that's accurate. I mean, I do think the Cowboys are obviously a high-profile team. Whoever is covered or whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach, they want to do it on their terms. That's fair. That's hard to do. And it's, if you take a Dan Campbell, for instance, is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? It's hard to imagine that he is. It's hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches might be. So I love the Dallas Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. I wish them well. But to say that it's a coveted job, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with it.
I don't know if there's a big thing. I don't know if there's a bigger name Cowboy than that to say what he said. What do you think, T-Rich, on what he said? Like, is he taking a shot at Jerry? Is he taking a shot at the job itself because of Jerry? Is it all Jerry?
I mean, some type of way it rolls back to Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's been guys that could have been qualified for that job. Like, shit, Troy could have been one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's been guys like, you got a guy like Prime, like, and you're not even looking that way. Like what conversations we not having right now? Or who's bigger than Prime that's going to come in? Because I think like this with him being an NFL coach, he can relate to those guys. Because he was what those guys wanted to symbolize or be when they was growing up. But he can let them guys know, like, bro, like looking at them from the older side, like some of that shit I was doing, I shouldn't have did. So don't do this and that. You know what I'm saying? I say being around a program, I don't know if it's a head coach yet though.
But I think kind of Aikman, to me, more so saying is that being a head coach of the Cowboys ain't what it used to be. Like it ain't like it's not as it's not as the brand is sexy, but it's like they ain't won since I was there. Basically, what he's saying.
But you gotta think about it like that's how
Bama
Bama was before Nick got there. Like,
right,
like bro, like
and Jerry won't give you full autonomy. He won't allow you to really be a coach. I think is kind of what he's saying. So that's why he's saying if Dan Campbell's there, he probably wouldn't be Dan Campbell because it's like shit. I wouldn't even be able to get my full. I wouldn't be able to be me, you know what I'm saying? Because Jerry's gonna always control everything, you know. So it's interesting, man. Troy Aikman said that. I mean, he's probably the biggest Cowboy you could argue, you know. So I mean, you got
that's tough, man. You can't have a system like that to where you can't have your guys be coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like he the GM and the head, the owner. Like it got to be some type of. Nah, I can't see Nick Saban saying I'm gonna go be a Dallas Cowboy coach. I just can't.
Here's the issue, though. Here's the fight back I have. Like, maybe he needs an alpha male. Maybe he hasn't had one because the last time he had an alpha male, they won 3 Super Bowls. Jimmy Johnson. And when they got rid of that guy, they haven't done anything since. And we know Barry Switzer won that 3rd one with his team and his guys, Jimmy Johnson that being. So maybe he needs a damn alpha male because Jimmy told him shut the hell up, get out the way. And he knew better than to fire him because he knew Jimmy knew what the hell he was doing. So he's got to be able to take that too, with the good, the bad, and ugly. Maybe he needs a goddamn. Bill Parcells had a little success. He was alpha. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if Dion is that guy or whoever else is that guy, and how many guys stay away from that job. How many guys stay away? Because Rex Ryan's out there shopping around. Rex Ryan's brother, Rob's coached in Dallas. He knows the landscape. He knows everything. Look at the guys you hire. And he keeps guys for more than 5 years usually. Jerry will keep you regardless. And he'll give you 5 years now. That's kind of on record. But, like, who wants to go there and live in coaching, so to speak, if they don't have any say whatsoever? Because – I don't know. Maybe Dion's that guy. He can do it with love and a little bit of stern attitude. Maybe Deion's that guy. Maybe he knows he's that guy. Maybe it's Michael Irvin said it's City on your guys' show. That motherfucker will be going tomorrow.
He's been pushing for Deion heavily on the network, and I know they're close and they're tight, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But I mean, we shall see. We shall see, man. But I did want to ask you real quick because we had a heated topic earlier. JB and I kind of got into it a little bit. He was cussing me out. I was cooking him, the usual, how we usually do it. And it was about the big time, the Rams game last night against the Vikings. Sam Darnold went back to looking like who Sam Darnold of old. People were saying he's out here seeing ghosts. I just kind of want to ask you, man, just what was your just quick, I guess, just take of Sam Darnold specifically? And, did he lose money? Should the Vikings continue to stay with him? He had a great season. I want to give him that great season. But when they needed him the most, he was seeing ghosts. So I guess what's your take on that?
I seen what he seen.
You was seeing the ghost too, T. Rich?
It was a scary movie on last night. But nah, man. It's gonna be tough, bro. They gonna stay with him because they stayed with Kirk Cousins for a long time.
They got JJ McCarthy though. Remember they drafted JJ McCarthy as the backup.
Yeah.
Remember, and he was gonna be the guy until he got hurt before the season started.
I think they keep him on staff. I think they keep him.
JJ put out a tweet last night too. Let's try to find that tweet, man. I think it was a real tweet, if I'm not mistaken. It was just some mysterious tweet right after the game. It was kind of interesting. But real quick, T. Rich, because there's a guy in the background that I know want to talk about this game too as well. And
I did not mean it like that, JB.
On staff.
T. Rich said he's not gonna be the starter. He's gonna be the second guy.
What's going on?
We got breaking news, man. Mr. King is in the building. I'm talking about Shaun King. He got some comments to make about Sam Darnold, and he's like, "How you doing, Mr. King?"
I just, I got told the most asinine thing I ever heard yesterday. And normally JB be on point, he be accurate and correct. But man,
did JB hang up?
Nah, he didn't. He did.
Hey,
right
T. Rich, he getting his feelings. Yesterday, he tried to argue with me that Sam Darnold was better than Baker Mayfield. And he stood 10 toes. He wasn't trying to get clicks. He really believed this. He said that deer in the head, I never hear Troy Aikman, openly criticize a white quarterback for the entirety of the game. Troy went in on Sam from start to finish last night. That's how bad he was.
Shaun, I don't know if you had a chance. Fergal, thanks for joining us, man. This is big time. I don't know if you heard our argument earlier, but JB was blaming everybody else but Sam Darnold. He blamed O'Connell. He blamed the O-line. He blamed Justin Jefferson. He blamed the scheme. He blamed the weather. He blamed the Cardinal Stadium. He blamed everybody else except Sam Darnold. So I don't know if you heard that, but I agree with your take wholeheartedly.
Hey, I made a picture. Hey, JB, I made a picture for you.
JB going fishing.
That's you and Darnold going fishing.
JB, get him off you, bro. Get him off you.
Hey,
who is that? Is that Joe Burrow, Darnold, and who's that, O'Connell?
Hey, T-Rich, you know what's not funny? You gonna get Bailey fired around this motherfucker. Fired around this motherfucker. Hey, keep fucking around. You and Fred gonna get Bailey fired around this motherfucker. First of all, it shouldn't be three brothers on one white in here. Number one. Number two, try to keep it equal. Try to equal. Where's fucking Matt or Wet or something?
I love this.
Number two, why is Shaun King on the show today? It's not Tuesday. He's not on a Tuesday. I didn't know that about it.
I mentioned yesterday because you were so adamant about how bad Baker played that if Sam Darnold laid an egg, I was coming on tomorrow and I wanted you to keep that same energy.
He did.
I did. I kept the same energy.
You played everybody but Sam Darnold. The only thing didn't happen, Kevin O'Connell didn't start reading the book. That's how bad Sam Darnold played. Jalen Hurts made A.J. Brown pick up a book. That's the only thing would have made last night more comical. If the head coach of the Vikings, who was so disgusted with Sam Darnold, I don't think they bring him back on any kind of deal.
Hold on. You are on this show all the time talking about keeping this thing equal in all parts. And I'm going to sit here who I defend coaches 99% of the time. That was a horrible fucking game plan by Kevin O'Connell. And if you don't know that, then we shouldn't even be talking no more.
No, JB, you're not getting away with that.
He was throwing fucking 7-on-7. He got sacked 9 times. 3 of them were on him. 6 of them were not. And how about we do something called sprint out, T-Rich? Hey, T-Rich, we can't block him. Put you over here. We're going to sprint this motherfucker out. I'm going to turn this protection back. How about T-Rich? I'm going to throw you a fucking screen because these D linemen, we can't block these motherfuckers. What the fuck was
that? Screen didn't do nothing, homie.
Hey, Shaun, this motherfucker's running 7-step, and they're running slice opposite routes that take 7 seconds, and we're wondering why this motherfucker's getting boom, boom, blah, 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 blah. And we're talking about that Sam Darnold's fault.
Hey, how good is Matthew Stafford?
Lord, help me pray for these motherfuckers today. Shit, pray for these motherfuckers here.
Hey, JB, how good is Matthew Stafford?
Great. Best ball spinner in football.
Hey, Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell called the same exact game.
No, that's where you're wrong.
Stafford stood in the pocket and threw the ball under pressure on the money.
You're wrong.
Sam Darnold folded.
Hell no. Stafford was on the move. They ran boot naked. They ran sprint out. He threw a corner out to Cup on the sprint out. He was sprinting them out. That's not the same offense. Sometimes, Shaun, hold on. Let me pray for this. Pray for these motherfuckers here, boy. Okay, let me calm down. I already had it out with Smitty. Shaun, you took the playbook from Willie Fritz, and you took a head job. T-Rich, you took Nick Saban's whole playbook, and you took a head job where you are now at Hoover, where you're the head coach at Hoover right now. Is it the same? Can you simulate and imitate the exact same shit? No, you can't. O'Connell got proven last night, Shaun. He ain't McVay. And he tried to do McVay shit and couldn't do it. And he looked horrific. He got exposed for 2 weeks in a row. Because Shaun and T-Rich, please tell me that through 17 weeks, Sam Darnold's been great. All of a sudden, everybody wants shit on him. Okay, fine. But can we talk about when we get to the NFL, Shaun, how the defensive coordinators who get paid a lot of money change the game plan on you because they got 17 weeks of film versus 2, 3, 4 weeks? Why did it become so different last night? Why were they fire zoning that cat to the boundary and he's holding his dick because he don't have a hot throw? Why were they doing things that he ain't seen yet? Because defensive coordinators do that. They have a resume on you. You know better than anybody as a quarterback, Shaun.
Hey, you sound like a guy that burnt up all the barbecue and tried to blame it on using new coals. Man, listen, O'Connell was the same play caller for them 17 games. How many steal shots do we got to show in the game of guys wide open and Darnold not seeing them or being unwilling to anticipate the throw? How many errant throws did he make last night? Even the completions were Hall of Fame catches. He was awful.
Hey, T-Rich, you know what's crazy? Smitty called this motherfucker a regular season quarterback. And I'm like, well, Lamar Jackson's a motherfucking regular season quarterback too, ain't he? Because shit, I don't know what that motherfucker's won, but goddamn.
You got to stop that, man.
Won the playoff games, AFC championships, and then
Stop. Hey, T-Rich, I know this. Lamar Jackson lost his first motherfucking playoff game, too. We sure ain't talking about that.
That's not a good bar. JB, hold on, you're embarrassing yourself when you say that. Stop saying that, homie. Lamar Jackson's first playoff game was what, his rookie season? Lamar Jackson's first playoff game was his rookie season. He was a baby. He was 19 years old. Now Donald's down there 40.
Shine. Don't come on here lying. Don't come on here lying, T-Rich. Don't let him come in lying. T-Rich, don't let him lie.
You talk like he's Caleb Williams.
Motherfucker's in his 20s. Motherfucker's in his 20s.
He's in
his 20s.
I got a factor check you. Lamar was 21 and Darnold was 27. So there's a 6-year difference.
Thank you.
Bailey, no, don't jump off, Bailey. First of all, obviously I'm being funny. Duh. I know Lamar was a 19. Obviously, I know fucking Darnold ain't 40. Obviously, my point being is 6 years is a lot in fucking football. Y'all acting like it ain't about.
And Darnold's in year 7.
Thank you.
And he played like he was in year 1.
What year was Lamar in? Was his rookie season?
It is year 1. What do you mean? It's his first playoff game, yo. It's crazy. Hey, T-Rich, help me out, black man.
Hey,
really comparing this motherfucker. They really comparing this motherfucker. So I didn't hear none of this shit.
You started this shit.
Kyler Murray. I didn't hear none of this shit when Kyler Murray was ass all year long, and he's a regular season goddamn. What did he do in the playoff? What Kyler do in the playoff? What did Kyler do in the playoff? What did Lamar do in the playoffs when he was a damn first playoff game? Like, why are y'all so quick to throw him under the bus? Hey, did Lamar win 17 games?
When have I defended Kyler? And don't sit here and act like getting to the playoffs as a rookie and getting to the playoffs as a 7-year guy is the same thing for the first time.
Come on, Jason, stop, bro.
So we just forget what his path was.
Right now, am I saying that?
We don't even care about the T-Rich. These motherfuckers act like the path was all the same. Like, this motherfucker was like,
I don't understand why.
Hold on, you two play the league. You two play the league. You know franchises matter.
Why are you out here capping for Sam Darnold?
I'm not. Okay, time out. I just want to ask T-Rich one question. Then give me 8 quarterbacks to replace him with.
Why 8 the number? I'm just curious about that. You've been saying that same number all day. Why is 8 the number? All you need is one, homie. All you need is one. That's all it takes.
Quarterback plays horrific. And Smitty, be smarter than that. Don't tell me quarterbacks that are on contracts, homie. Don't tell me Joe Burrow, motherfucker. He's on a contract.
Wait. You said 8 quarterbacks are the better.
Give me 4 available quarterbacks.
You didn't say available the first time.
What? Come on, you know what I mean. We're not taking Joe Burrow, homie. Give me 4 available guys. Give me 4 available guys. If you're so quick to get rid of the motherfucker, give me 4 available guys. Because quarterback play is horrible.
JJ McCarthy. I ain't got to lead a team.
He ain't even played yet.
But listen, JB, if Darnold resorted to being the exact same guy he's been for 6 years in the 2 biggest games of the year, the game versus the Lions that had the division and the first round bye on the line, and the playoff game against the Rams, I'd rather JJ McCarthy get playing experience than get to next year's playoff and risk Darnold doing this again.
T-Rich, I'm disappointed in Shaun and Smitty.
You're not disappointed in me. I don't know why you're caping for Sam Darnold.
And I'm glad because Shaun's a quarterback. So, like, JB always uses that whole, I'm the only person over here who knows how to talk quarterback. And I can't I didn't play quarterback. I sacked the quarterback, but I didn't play quarterback. But when Shaun King comes on here, a Super Bowl champion, you can't say shit. So that's why I love Shaun coming. So
Darnell, stop talking. We got guests.
Go ahead, T-Rich. Go.
So, Shaun, do you go get a Teddy Bridgewater or do you go get a Cam Newton?
No, I played J.J. McCarthy. They drafted the quarterback in the first round.
But with like JB saying though, he hasn't played it down yet. He ain't played yet. So
Jaden Bell's been playing down before the season too.
No, he's saying go get a vet guy in there. Go get a vet guy in there that can control it in case that he's not that guy. That's what he's saying.
So watch this. The one thing that the NFL gets wrong, even when they draft the wrong quarterback, is they become impatient. So I'm never going to draft a rookie quarterback and operate under the understanding or expectation that he's got to be great in year one.
We got
to guess. Let him finish. We got to guess.
To me, year one for a rookie quarterback is quarters. I want him to be better the last quarter of the season than he is the first. I'm willing to accept all kind of miscues and mistakes early in order to help create a better player at the end of the year. I believe Bryce Young rookie year happened a lot more than C.J. Stroud rookie year, is what I'm saying. And so if you give up on Bryce Young, you never get Bryce in the second half of the second season.
But yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying give up on him. I'm saying go get a vet guy in there.
Like, I can get a vet to back up, but I'm not bringing a vet in to start.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I was with the Colts, Andrew had a Matt Hasselbeck. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he needed that old head. Like even if Andrew was hurt, like we knew that he can come in at least manage what he's supposed to manage.
I can go get Andy Dalton or one of them kind of guys to be the backup. You know, the guy that probably still could start for 2 weeks, but he got his money. He's not trying to start.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked today. I'm really shocked.
Because you're wrong.
You're the running back.
Shocked that I'm calling it out.
No, I'm not. I'm shocked that you're really trying to put a square peg into a round hole right now. Like, you got the guy right now. He just won you 14 fucking games.
Based on what I saw the last 2 weeks,
just won you 14 games. You already got Daniel Dimes. You got Daniel Dimes on the roster, homie.
Hey, listen.
I don't get it.
Hey,
you guys are trying to come up with a way to this motherfucker. 1 year. 1 year. First year playing as a starter.
Hey,
hold on, T-Rich. I was just answering the question. You were saying no.
Hold on, T-Rich. You got a beautiful dog running around that house, and you the only one think that dog trained.
No. You know he's trained.
Nobody else came to your house thinking that's a well-trained dog. Beautiful dog, nice dog. But when you tell him sit, he don't sit. When you tell him stop, he don't stop.
So I'm not correlating the point because the point is,
I'm saying your point about Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold is you saying that your dog is well trained.
No, T-Rich, tell him what you. I want to ask T-Rich. T-Rich, this scenario is happening right now. You're the running back veteran. I just want to know from you, straight up, and you can tell me I'm wrong. You just won 14 games. Yeah, you lost in the first round, disappointing season. Do you really want to go with a rookie in that locker room? Is the locker room players right now, and Shaun knows this, that's why it's crazy. Is the locker room right now saying, oh, man, let's fuck it. We're going to go with this rookie who blew his knee out, and we ain't seen him play yet. Are y'all going with that? Are you going with Sam? We're going to be all right. You're going to be good. We got figured out late in the year. But you won us 14, dog. like, which one are you doing?
You think that's what Justin Jefferson is saying right now?
I asked the whole team, dog. That's the whole team. I asked the whole team.
Man, Justin Jefferson's so close to be. Oh, what's up? Shout out to hey man, that's a good dog right there. He just ain't got no good training. It's a great dog, though. Other than that, motherfucker cold. Hey, Justin Jefferson on the phone with Tyreek Hill right now. Hey man. Boy, if they say Sam Darnold coming back, I'm about to ask Scott.
I'd be asking O'Connell. Shit. That motherfucker threw straight drop back 7-step the whole goddamn game. That's just crazy to me. I can't believe you could defend O'Connell right now. You quick to blast these horrible play callers and coaches, and now all of a sudden he called a gym last night? That motherfucker didn't throw one screen, one sprint out of goddamn any shallows. How you don't throw a quick game all game long and you got 2 pass rushers blowing you up the whole game? That shit blew my mind.
T-Rich, I just hope that regardless of what happens this weekend with the Bills and Ravens game, regardless of who loses, I pray that whatever the losing team is, I pray that quarterback gets the same grace that Sam Darnold gets. I pray that quarterback, whoever that is, because I really don't know who's going to win or lose. It's going to be a hell of a game. I just pray that quarterback gets that same. They won 12 games. They won 13 games a season. What more could you ask for? Because the JB that I've known, T-Rich, I'm talking to you directly, is that he's never cared about regular season wins. Because I always bring up the success rate of Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers all the time. And he always says how Shanahan is a choke artist. Shanahan can't win the big game. Shanahan did. Forget the regular season. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So when it comes to Sam Darnold, now 14 games is everything. Now 14 games is the Super Bowl. So make it make sense, homie, because you're talking out of 2 sides of your mouth. One side matters, the other side don't, homie. And I'm done cooking for the day.
T-Rich, I'm still tripping, though. He is yet to tell me 4 quarterbacks out there to replace him.
All you need is one.
I gave you the one that
I'm still tripping, T-Rich asked you a specific question, Shaun King. He said, what veteran are you going to bring in to replace? I ain't heard you yet. I ain't heard Smitty tell me 4 guys yet. I ain't heard nobody. I heard you motherfuckers acting like 50 Cent. T-Rich, these motherfuckers look like 50 Cent out here. Square, peg, round, hole. That's what these motherfuckers try to do. They try to figure out a way. They try to figure out a way to get rid of this motherfucker when there ain't nobody else out there just to say they got rid of the motherfucker. That shit blows my mind. This the NFL, Shaun. This ain't junior high school.
Hey, for those that are just tuning in that did not hear all the portions of our conversation, I immediately told JB the quarterback is already on the roster, J.J. McCarthy. If they want to bring in a veteran backup, I mentioned Andy Dalton, or you could bring in Tyrod Taylor, or Jacoby Brissett, or Jameis Winston. It's a bunch of vets you could bring in if you want to have a backup. But if I'm the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy will be my starter next year. I was very clear when I said
Bailey,
that.
can you come in? Bailey, can you come in?
So,
Bailey, where's Bailey? Bailey, come in, please. Bailey, come in. Can I please.
T-Rich, feel free to, because I know T-Rich been kind of a little quiet. I know. Please jump in, T-Rich. Please.
Yeah,
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
I love this great conversation, T-Rich, but is there a guy over there in Seattle named Geno Smith? I ain't heard not one of you motherfuckers talk shit about that motherfucker. What's he done?
There's two people. There's actually...
This motherfucker's in the playoffs. This dude's sitting here. You guys defend Geno Smith every motherfucking day on this show. I've been defending that motherfucker for so goddamn long. He's garbage. That motherfucker. Shaun keeps talking about he's 70% completion. Yeah, he throw bubble screen all motherfucking day. That motherfucker's garbage. He ain't done shit. Sam Darnold throws the goddamn ball down the field at least. Shit.
But the motherfucker don't end up in nobody's
I'm done
hands.
cooking, Smitty. Motherfucker, I'm done cooking, Smitty. Shit.
Tomato. It was not the same. We both cooked.
Smoke that, motherfucker. Smoke that, T-Rich. Tell that motherfucker smoke that in, T-Rich. Tell that motherfucker smoke that in.
Both cooked, but one meal was better than the other. I think we can all say that.
Well, here's what I'll say, JB, to your take. Seattle has two quarterbacks. You forget Seattle has Sam Howell along with Geno Smith. And Geno Smith doesn't just throw bubble screen. I think you know that's not true. The Vikings also have Daniel Jones. I hope you don't forget that.
I left that out on purpose.
You mean the guy that won a playoff game? Yeah, that guy. I know.
He won a playoff game.
They have two quarterback replacements on the roster already.
T-Rich, can we talk about the best white offense ever played last night? The best white offense ever played last night, Shaun. Can we discuss it? Nakua, Kupp, Stafford, Higbee. The best white offense ever played last night against the Vikings. No one wants to talk about that, though.
So Kyron Williams is white because he went to Notre Dame?
Nah, we got to have a running back. I would never want a white running back. Not even CMC.
Nakua's white because he went to BYU. I get the correlation. When they went to white central
schools, he is white. He falls under the white.
The Rams won last night because Matthew Stafford's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he played like it. He was under pressure and duress the entirety of the game. He showed composure and poise. He sat in the pocket. He made throw after throw after throw. That's why they won that game. His counterpart, Sam Darnold, played like a failed number one pick in the draft. He had that wide-eyed, bewildered look in his eyes. When the pocket collapsed, he panicked. He had guys open. He missed them. That was the tail of the tape in the game. Point blank and period.
T-Rich is a bad person to ask in here because he got poly in and he got poly relations and stuff. So I know. So poly, I mean, most of the polys I know are going to be on my side, but I get T-Rich about to say. So T-Rich, go ahead and cook me. The polys are iffy, but we know this. They're not black. They're on the white team right now.
Definitely not white.
Nakua's on the white team.
That's tough, JB. Yeah,
I know
they eat more chicken than me, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. They eat more chicken than household. Yeah,
they eat other shit too.
And that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon in the playoffs. Hell, the Chargers go Herbert, Disley, and McConkey. That's the same as Higbee, Kupp, and Bradford, because you're not getting the Nakua.
You said Bradford.
We already got him, Nakua.
I
told Nakua. I know his family. We got him. We already got him. We got him. He on the white time.
T-Rich is poly and black.
We got the Samoans. We got the Pilots. We got the Samoans.
Come on, bro.
I'm saying, so we gotta have Dwayne Johnson, right?
You can't argue with T-Rich.
You all have him. He mixed though. He got black in him though.
I gotta go. Yeah, we gotta have the Samoans.
T-Rich, not to beat a dead horse, but just your honest take, because you didn't get to really say it after all the argument. Do you keep Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I think you do. I think I say this because they kept Kirk Cousins for so long.
Thank you.
You cannot. If they don't get rid of Sam Darnold, bro, like I don't see them doing it. I just don't see. And I'm telling you from what they office have done in the past, I just don't see them getting rid of him.
Well, they might as well kept Kirk Cousins then, T-Rich. What's the difference?
If he went on his last limb, they would have kept him.
Because Kirk did the same thing. Go win 12 plus games, losing playoffs.
I'm really tripping on Shaun.
T-Rich, that's so asinine what you just said. That's like you saying you want Jalen Milroe to come back to Bama for another year. Like, you don't believe that after watching Sam Darnold play the last 2 games, that they should repeat this. You saw the look in Justin Jefferson's face.
Hey, hold on.
You can't walk in there and bring that boy back.
The brakes, damn it.
Shaun with the Tulane, by the way, T-Rich.
You pump your damn brakes. That's the last time you're going to talk about Jalen. You get to take.
You don't want him back. You don't want him back.
You go. Not in that offense. He need another offense coordinator. I want him back in the other offense. We'll start.
Hey, like Marlo said on the wire, you want it one way, but it's the other way. Kalen DeBoer is going nowhere.
Hey, Tira, I'm tripping though.
I'm cooking out right now.
Hey, Shaun, I'm really tripping on you today because in a quarterback market that's so god-awful, and you come on this show talking about there ain't a goddamn kid in the draft, and we talk about all this other old shit and how bad the NFL QB is. You're so quick to get rid of Sam Darnold, who won 14 games. Who you gonna get, man?
Jay McCarthy.
No, man, JJ ain't even in the conversation. His knee looked like this. He got a swollen knee. He out. That motherfucker out. He does.
For context too.
He out.
For context regarding the Vikings, don't forget now the facts of what happened. JJ was ahead of Sam Darnold when the injury occurred. Remember, JJ just played their preseason game and played really well. And they were talking about JJ, so it's not like they're not high on the kid. And JJ, watch it. When you see, I had JJ at IMG. JJ, one of the smartest, but also confident, borderline cocky kids I know. He can't believe it. Hey, he walked on that sideline. When you look at him, you can tell he like, ain't no way this mofo gonna beat me out next year.
T-Rich, I don't believe that at all, because if you're telling me that and you signed Sam Darnold to a 1-year, $10 million deal and you're going to start the rookie, makes 0 sense, and you know better than that. So stop. No, they didn't. That was by design to get him reps in the preseason. Sam Darnold was the starter. It was already said, clear, done, cut. Stop. He was not getting $10 million, Shaun, to be the backup. Why? Why would they do that?
Hey, you know how you be out and somebody have on like United States military stuff, and you don't know them from a can of paint, but you go up to them and you say, thank you for your service. Like a show of respect for what you've done, but that's what they're gonna do to Sam Darnold. It might be in the meeting right now. Hey, thank you for your service. You can get your shit and you can take it with you.
All right, let's transition before you guys get out of here then. So let's do the same damn conversation with Mike Tomlin. Go.
Oh, I've told you this. I wish they would have fired Mike Tomlin. Because I think the Pittsburgh. Listen to my T-Rich. Listen to my context.
We got a fucking reverse racism show. Like nobody on planet Earth understands how.
T-Rich.
They don't know what we are. We racist, not racist, reverse racist. They motherfuckers don't know it's a racist show.
Hey, T-Rich, hear me out. The truth don't have emotions. It's just the truth, right? The one thing Pittsburgh has proven that they cannot do, they're incapable of doing, is evaluating the quarterback position. I would love for Tomlin to get fired and go somewhere where he already has a talented quarterback in place. And all he has to do is build the rest of the team to championship caliber. I don't know that they'll ever get quarterback fixed in Pittsburgh post Ben Roethlisberger.
So hold on. So they're gonna do the military thing that you brought up with Sam Darnold, but not with Mike Tomlin. They're not going to give him
Tomlin going to get a whole, farewell parade.
Thank you.
He's been great.
I'm not going to let you get away with that anyway. You're not going to compare no fucking Sam Arnold to Mike Tomlin, a Super Bowl winning champion, homie. A Super Bowl winning champion.
I ain't even play for him, but that's my coach, Mike Tomlin. You ain't going to do that.
I want Mike Tomlin. I'm the only one here, the only white motherfucker that want Tomlin to stay. Yo, let him fire.
Yeah, you a line, homie. I say on the show.
I gave a legit reason for why. Did I give a legit reason for why?
But he made that program, ain't the GM's job to get the quarterback right?
So Trent, look at it like this. Since Roethlisberger left, they've trotted out Mason Rudolph, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and an old Russ Wilson. And all of these playoff losses, Pittsburgh has been the underdog. They've not gone into these games as the favorite. They have not figured out how to evaluate the quarterback position from the GM down to the head coach. I don't know if he ever wins a championship in Pittsburgh because of that. But if he got fired and was able to go somewhere where he inherited a legit quarterback, I truly believe he could build the rest of the organization to the same level he got Pittsburgh. And I think he's the second best coach on the face of the planet behind Andy Reid.
So using that, if let's say Mike Tomlin, they mutually parted ways and he went to the Vikings and he's able to get a J.D. McCarthy at quarterback, what do you think he'll do there?
The Vikings ready-made. They just need JJ to be average. Sam Darnold was so below average last night, they got blew out. All they needed was average quarterback play. They didn't even need, like, elite Hall of Fame MVP caliber play. I mean, they had a high school JV quarterback out there. That kid, that Sam Darnold we saw last night wouldn't have started for Eric Weddle team down in San Diego.
And shout out to Mike Bundy. Name 8 better coaches you can hire, homie.
That's why I put it. I think Tomlin's the second best coach on the planet behind Andy Reid.
I got McVay second, but that's me.
The only reason that I put Tomlin above McVay because Tomlin's been doing it longer. Tomlin's stretch of consistency. Tomlin won a Super Bowl before McVay was a head coach.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He's been doing it so much longer. And the difference between Tomlin, you know the difference between Tomlin and Andy Reid? Andy Reid has gotten Donovan McNabb to a Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. Like he's got, I mean, I'm tripping. Andy Reid has gotten Patrick Mahomes, Donovan McNabb,
Nick Foles.
Smith, Nick Foles. Now he's gotten different quarterbacks to an elite level of production that's above necessarily their talent. Like that's the difference between Tomlin and Reid. Tomlin hadn't been able to figure that out with that particular position.
Hey, Shaun and T-Rich, I have a question before we get out of here this fine Tuesday. Who would win in their prime? Who would win in this fight? Prime like age, like 21, 22 years old, prime age. Who would win? Big Smitty or Coach JB? T-Rich, go ahead. You first.
Ain't the question.
Hey,
is that really me when I was 21 though?
That's really me. A couple years ago.
Shout out to Kev the Trucker on Twitter for putting this together.
That's really me.
Is that Whitlock right now though?
He the ref. Whitlock the ref.
I thought that was a Herschel Walker, bro. Man, I thought that was
Hey, T-Rich, that's Herschel Walker body and Smitty head.
I thought that was Remy from fucking Higher Learning.
Hey, Bailey. Hey, Bailey, we talking about a street fight or we talking about in the ring?
Let's say in the ring, like an official sanctioned fight.
So I believe if they both train, I'm gonna favor JB. And here's why. I think in a street fight, Smitty washes JB.
Beat the fuck out of him.
But in the ring,
that's where you're wrong.
In the ring, because of JB reach and Smitty's body type, I think Smitty tires out after maybe a round and a half, 2 rounds.
See, I would actually go to.
I think JB reach.
But all I need is around, Sean. Mike Tyson, all Mike Tyson needed was around. Mike Tyson was short too with a little arm. But he's
I'm saying, can we get 3 rounds?
You're not Mike Tyson. First of all, you're not Mike Tyson. Let's stop that.
Right. We don't know who I am. I never tried to do it, Sean. I never trained, homie.
I'm saying you the old Mike or did you young Mike?
I don't know. I never trained for boxing.
I'm surprised. I thought Shaun would go the other way. I thought Shaun would go the other way because he knows my mentality is just pure dog.
Real quick.
And he knows
no. In a street fight, Smitty washes.
I'm washing. I'm beating.
When he can grab you,
street fight means no holds barred, homie.
I got bottles, whatever.
He wasn't even thinking of shit I would do in the streets, Smith. He wouldn't even come up with the shit I would do. I'd grab a bar. I'd choke him up with a bar. I'd hit him with a glass.
No bullshit.
I'll get a manhole cover, T-Rich. I hit Smitty with a manhole cover. That motherfucker wouldn't even know what it is. There's a manhole cover. Just blah. Like in the ring, I would say Smitty. Smitty would beat me in the ring. I'm gonna beat him.
In the laughing and take my time.
Cut it out.
I would
cut it out. He's too strong. He's too young for you in a street fight. But in the ring, if you train because of your reach, you can move around and keep him away from you. The ref gonna break it up when he try and hold you. Like you have a chance in the ring.
Nah, I would say I'm done in the ring. I'm so goddamn out of shape. He'd beat me in the ring in the real street in the alley. Oh, Smitty, you'll never see Smitty again. You'll never see Smitty on the show again.
It's gonna be tough though. So I look at it on both ends. So I see Smitty in the street. I see him. But this is what I see in the street too. JB gonna come with some shit like this. He gonna have 2 pocket knives. He gonna have a pocket knife. He gonna drop one. Smitty gonna look down on the ground, and JB gonna be on the other side shanking his ass. I can see it.
They Smith.
I didn't know he was bringing shanks and weapons into the thing.
Street fight, Shaun.
Why would I
Street
let
fight.
down, homie?
Huh?
And also, you think I'm gonna let Jason pull up with a weapon, and I'm not gonna have nothing.
Homie, that's why.
That's just some LA shit. That's just some LA shit.
JB
Thank you. T-Rich knows. Recognize real. Thank you.
Popularize y'all, and I get it. Like from the media, we make and shout out to Compton. I'm not dissing Compton. I'm just saying that there's hoods everywhere, homie. There's hoods everywhere.
Yeah, I can only speak on my hood, y'all.
I'm sure Shaun from the hood in Florida, Trent, we all from the hood, homie.
In a street fight in Florida, if me and JB show up to run the fade, it's a straight up fade, hands only. If somebody pull out a weapon, then all the crews get involved. It's a brawl.
If we using weapons, then we
the 101 like it's just the fist.
See, Rich, if we using weapons, we using weapons then. It's a whole nother conversation then.
Hey, T-Rich,
we use weapons.
They took the whole shit. Hey, man. Hey, we'll have you on after, but this weekend's game's coming up. We got Shaun on Friday. Shaun, T-Rich, we won't have you till next week, but who you got in the Natty?
Who playing in the Natty?
I knew you
were going to say that.
No.
Hold on, wait. What'd you say, Shaun?
I said, it ain't Bama. Y'all got me out here looking suspect in these streets. SEC laid the fuck down come the playoffs. Tennessee went and got motorboated. Alabama got motorboated. South Carolina got motorboated. I'm over here trying to hold up the South, boy.
Texas.
And we out here getting beat like a stepchild and the daddy don't love. It's ridiculous.
You know what? I deserve that.
For real.
I deserve
that. I'm out here campaigning, talking about SEC this, SEC that, and the whole conference laid down. Vandy might have been the only team that won outside of Ole Miss. I'm fighting for my life.
Listen, you know what? We done last 25 years. We done shitted the brick twice, 2 or 3 times, 3 times in the last 25 years. But I deserve that one. Because I'm with you. We looked at
Michigan showed up with walk-ons and beat y'all.
Damn, Shaun.
Michigan own us right now, bro. Like I can literally say that. Like they own us right now. I'm getting shit from people that I don't even know, pictures and shit from Michigan fans. Like it's a shame. Like Tennessee, like we got Tennessee fans in Birmingham all of a sudden. What the hell going on?
And you know what, Tennessee, you tell them they shouldn't say nothing.
We got Vandy fans out here now, y'all. They stepping to us. We got Vandy fans stepping to us right now. Like, come on, bro. What?
They get that, though. To the victor go the spoils. Yeah, Vandy get a full year. Now, here's the comeback for Vandy. If we could play a 30-year-old quarterback, we probably would have won. Like, I'm not with this Pavia being like 37 and a half years old, get another year. Like, this is ridiculous. What's going on with that kid?
Motherfucking Sam Darnold age, ain't he?
Older.
Hey, T-Rich, you're not going to let him get away with not asking him where Tulane is, though, right?
Oh, we got Mollywop, too.
He threw me off with the other question.
That's
when last time y'all won that championship?
Who?
When last time y'all won that championship?
1998, when I was there, baby. You ain't seen the banner? Don't make me go get the T-shirt. Yeah, when UCF did it, we followed UCF. 12-0 national champs, baby.
T. Rich was 8 years old. I was 4, homie.
Yeah, T. Rich, I was a part of an undefeated college football team. 12-0, baby. All you can do is beat people on the schedule. And
Baby
we would have beat
yet,
Tennessee that year.
Shaun, baby wasn't born yet when y'all won the Natty.
That's okay. He can look it up. And Tulane just beat USC in the Cotton Bowl 2 years ago. So we knocking on
they don't
some
get
big
no
dogs.
props for USC no more though.
That was Caleb Williams.
We can't talk about USC like that.
That was Caleb Williams USC. That was the Heisman year. That was their team.
That was a bad.
T-Rich, you know what I've come across to end the show? You know what I've realized?
I'm about to leave.
Shaun came in here with extra energy because it's not his day. Bailey may fuck around and get fired because he let Shaun come up with a graphic. And then all this hate about Sam Darnold is unbelievable. Like, it's crazy. I can't wait. Who's your quarterback, Shaun? I can't wait for that motherfucker to fail tomorrow. Who is it? Again?
What you mean? Who my quarterback?
Who's your quarterback you root for? I'm going to watch this weekend play.
I just want to see great football. I can't wait to see Lamar play Josh Allen.
Oh.
I mean, my quarterback lost. Baker Mayfield couldn't fucking time up the jet sweep the running back.
That's my point, T-Man. I was wondering where that motherfucker was. I forgot he's back home. He's back home. Hey, T-Man, where's that fishing picture at? That motherfucker been fishing for goddamn 8 years.
Look better than Sam.
We were 1 day ahead of y'all. And we got your rod already baited and a seat on the boat.
T-Rich, shout out to you. We'll see you after the Natty, which is Monday next week.
Hey, and by the way, JB, before we go, T-Rich did not say that he wanted Jalen Milroe back for another year under Kalen DeBoer. Make sure we clip that. Make sure we say that.
No, I didn't say. I don't want him underneath that offense coordinator. I just can't do the offense coordinator. It's making my boy look bad, man. And that's my little bro, man. That's my guy.
Hey, tell Jalen come work out with me. I get him right.
Most definitely, I'm gonna definitely give him the message. But,
are you taking over Hoover? Rich?
Hey, JB, man, I'm glad. Hey, I want to say big ups to you, man. I appreciate you allowing me and Smitty to cook you today. Yeah. I know it wasn't my day to be on the show, but I did feel like after putting a lot of time in to make that meme, can we see that meme one more time, Bailey? You know, with JB and Sam Darnold, going fishing, baby. Shout out to TNT and the basketball crew.
Who's that guy with the rolls, though? Look at his stomach, homie.
That's you, homie. It looked just like you, homie.
God damn, 400 pounds.
Actually,
no. That's actually your real body. We just put a body shot of you and a different head shot. Remember, you had that cut-off T-shirt on when you was out there trying to train your dog.
Yeah.
I never had no cut-off T-shirt.
Hey, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate you letting me just embark on the show. Based on the chat that they enjoyed it today, they said, I think one of the chatters said, Shaun and Smitty 10, JB 1.
Damn.
I don't know which argument they gave you, but it's a pretty dominant day.
Well, when a bunch of nobodies get together, they usually vote for each other. So, that's different.
Now they're nobodies. Any other day, they on his side, though, and they're everything. Now they ain't nobody.
No. You got your crew, homie. We've already established that. You got a crew that follow you.
I got seven.
I'm a non-biased guest. They roast me sometimes. They support me sometimes.
I can't wait for your quarterback to fail this week.
Who?
My quarterback already fishing.
Smitty got any black quarterback that's still alive. It's AR5 in Indianapolis, and then he's a Lamar Jackson Ravens fan. When they lose to Josh Allen,
I've been Lamar guy through and through.
When he lose, dog, who's left? Then he got to go to Mahomes. Then he got to go to Mahomes, Shaun. And then Mahomes, he gonna grab out of Mahomes.
Jaden Daniels.
Then he got Jaden Daniels.
The one thing I'm extremely proud of is race does not play into my evaluation.
Not me either, man.
It plays in Smitty's. 1,000% it's Smitty's. But it's not yours.
He gonna show it.
Shout out to Shaun King for keeping it real. Shout out for not being on team 3.
If they did a quarterback draft for the remaining teams in the playoffs, Jalen Hurts would be absolutely last on my list.
Ooh, mine too.
Mine too.
No, he wouldn't.
It would be. You got C.J. Stroud, you got Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Who we missing?
Jared Goff.
Matthew Stafford.
You just wanted to get rid of Sam Darnold, homie.
Just Sam Darnold.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Smitty, you just wanted to get rid of Sam Darnold.
Draft with the remaining team. Darnold's not in the playoffs, homie. He's out.
We're talking about the teams left.
Yeah. Come on, nigga. Listen.
Hey, if you know Jalen Hurts, if you're watching this, if you don't calm down and throw the ball in rhythm from the pocket when your initial option is not open, Philadelphia has no shot to win a championship. He determines pre-snap where he's going with the ball, and if that first option is open, he drops the ball and starts to trying to find a way to lead the pocket. If he don't get that fixed, they're not winning.
Hey, I'm just telling you right now, this couldn't be a better lineup for the Rams. The Rams are just on pace. This is a scary team to play right now. I'm just telling you, with a Jalen Hurts that doesn't look really that great, and an Eagles secondary that can be and has been exposed this year, I'm telling you right now, this is a scary-ass team coming out from L.A. to Philly during some fires and all this other shit. We might be out there all week long getting ready because the fire's here. So I'm just telling you, scary-ass team.
Nakobe Dean got hurt in the Packers game.
Yeah, he out.
Slade's battling an injury. I will say this. As long as the weather don't turn like complete northeastern on the Rams, they got a shot. But if they get up there and it's like one of them Buffalo, late January snow games in Philly where it's snow everywhere, and they're not gonna win. Saquon gonna dominate. But if the weather's decent,
55 or something crazy last time. That's my only concern is the Rams fan. Can they stop Saquon?
Sam Darnold played in the cold. Stafford's played in the cold before. Nakua played in BYU. He's used to the snow. I ain't worried about
when
this.
When Stafford played in the cold? He was in Detroit and the Rams. Detroit plays indoors.
He's playing playoff games in the cold. He ain't worried about this. There's nothing.
I ain't worried about Stafford. I'm talking about the entirety of the team. They're better in a controlled climate, fast surface. That's where they're at their best.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, though, Smitty. As you know, pass rushers go play in the cold, the heat. It don't matter. You can rush the passer. The Rams can. Shit. That travel. It don't matter if it's cold or not.
The problem, JB, I also know as a pass rusher and as a D lineman, when you got a strong running game, which the Eagles do and they will lean on, it slows down your pass rush because now you're guessing. Now you're trying to play the run and make sure you don't get reach block and down block. So now when they do pass, you're hesitant. So that's what I'm saying. Saquon's going to be huge in this game.
But here's the thing. If I know that I'm going in to stop the run because I got a guy that can't throw for over 39 yards in an NFL football game, guess what? I already know what to expect. I'm stopping the run. We're going to slow play the pass rush because this guy it don't matter anyway. Guess what Jalen Hurts' biggest asset is? His feet, not his arm. You can't even get A.J. Brown the goddamn ball. He's reading books over there selling Amazon tickets. Get out of here with that shit. Jalen Hurts can't beat nobody.
Jalen Hurts puts you in therapy, JB. Trying to play for him, boy. You see in a sight.
Jalen Hurts. We're going to stop Saquon Barkley and let the book reader and 130-pound soaking wet Devontae Smith and all that other shit, they motherfucker get scoop slammed all day long. They got no shot. The Rams about to go to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now. I called it. I'm telling you, Rams about to be in the Super Bowl. You guys fucking around.
Rams and Ravens in New Orleans and Washington Jackson. I want the Rams make it and Lamar just put them to sleep.
Smitty, I'm going to say it again because I wanted to get to Jalen because I don't think anybody around Jalen is being honest with him about how terrible he is right now throwing the football. Jalen, you suck. If you don't get it fixed, y'all have no shot. You need to sit in the pocket and get past your initial read and get to your second and third options and throw the ball in rhythm. There are guys wide open when you watch the All-22. If you don't do that, it's all your fault and Philly's going to lose.
Hey, in the other game, we'll talk to you Friday, but the Detroit-Washington game, that has the possibility of being like a 52-50 game. I'm just going to tell you right now.
They're going to whitewash Washington. They're going to whitewash Washington.
I think they do, too, but I think it could be a high-scoring game.
Listen, Tampa shot themselves in the foot all game.
No, Detroit playing with house money. Jaden don't know no better. Now you got some more confidence underneath them because they just won a playoff game.
Now he knows.
Defense is hurt. They're injured.
Detroit's gonna beat the shit out of him because Jalen does know now. That's the problem. But you only do that once, Smitty.
This gonna stop in the middle. I don't know. We're gonna see, man. But hey, y'all.
As we end the show, though, I'm still waiting. Can you guys email me and text me 4 quarterbacks better than Sam Darnold that you want on the Minnesota Vikings?
All you need is 1 quarterback, homie. You don't need 4. You need 1.
Okay, give me the 1 then. Give me the 1 then.
I would take Jameis Winston.
Give me
100%. I'll take Jameis Winston over Darnold every day of the week.
See you guys tomorrow. We'll be back. It's a great show. Shaun just ruined the whole show's credibility. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Workboot Wednesday. And much love, man. We are out of here. Peace.